And welcome. This is Nuke Marine, and this is the suggested guide for Japanese literacy. Course series on Memrise. It really is just a self-study stream, live stream of me going through this course. Sometimes teaching it, sometimes learning from it myself, or correcting, or doing whatever else happens to strike my fancy as I'm going through it. Alright, so a little bit of what happened. Yesterday, me being me, I went and posted something to, what was it? It was the Learn Useless Talents, that's right. Alright, so I went and posted Learn Useless Talents. What I did on there on that thread, I went and posted the link to the playlist of the kanji, and it said, you know, learn these, and again, you're learning it in English, so technically it is a useless talent, unless you go on to use it later to learn Japanese. I thought it was kind of a funny joke or whatnot, and it got a pretty positive response. Right now it's at 700 upvotes, and I think the view count was getting past 1,500 as far as YouTube is concerned, which again, that's like a drop in the bucket compared to the views that you know, your average YouTuber gets. Well, I don't know about average, but usually your notable YouTubers can get you know, that on a 2-minute thing, and this is meant to be a 30-hour set of course series of videos and whatnot. That's even then the video is just you know, again, in 4 areas of that video of this long of that 2 to 3 hour live stream was you know, again, 4 lessons, and then it went on to the next sets of videos and went on and kept going on from there. But anyway, it had some pretty positive responses, and hopefully this has you know, I got a few more people who joined up to my subscribe. Let me make sure the audio is working. The next sets of videos. All right, so the audio is working, and where is? There we are. Let me go. Okay, and make sure go and look at the chat log, see where people are talking or whatnot. All right. All right. And again, part of it is arrogance on my part. You know, again, I made something, I want everybody to see it and say, hey, wow, look at this new toy I showed to people. The other side is, of course, that again, I think it's a legitimate, what I've made was something, again, it's based on something Heisig did, you know, 3 decades ago, close to 3 decades ago. It's been improved upon in the last decade or whatnot by the help of the online community. And again, he had a great book. I mean, if you ever looked at Heisig when he made this book for remembering the kanji, back before there was a 4th edition printing by University of Hawaii, it was, you know, used books of his were going for like over hundreds of dollars on eBay. Because again, people were finding these were useful stories, and there was no other resource for it. Unfortunately, now thanks to the internet, you know, resources are out there. There's 4th, 5th, and 6th edition publishings of his book, so that, you know, people have access that way. There's variants called Kanji, Kodansha's Kanji Learner's Course, which is, you know, teaches it similar fashions, but does it in a different flavor. Again, the ability to learn Japanese is so much better in this online world that this internet world that we have now, as opposed to what it was 30, 20, or actually even 10 years ago when you think about it, because the ability to share information has been improved so much since then as well. So yeah, if you actually want to learn Japanese, I mean, this is, you know, the golden time to do it, because, you know, now you got access to all the entertainment material that's out there, which is a big thing of learning, getting good at languages, getting access to the media that uses that language, instead of just keeping it in the academic setting of learning it in the classroom, you know, putting it to use, if you will. You know, and you can actually talk for free, you know, to anyone, almost for free to anyone in the world, you know, over Skype or iTalki or whatever other applications there are. You know, it's just an amazing time. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to show that off to people. Got some pretty decent responses. Let me, and almost all positive. Actually, I think they were all positive this time. I mean, it wasn't like whatnot. Yeah, and some people saying, you know, they want to learn it, or their children want to learn it, and I gave my usual responses on, you know, here's the steps you can do if you really want to learn Japanese. So hopefully there's a positive outcome to that. It looks like it's top 15 for the month from what I could see. So it looks like some people, you know, who don't visit Reddit every day, they're going to be seeing this, and at least they're going to say, hey, what the hey is this? And, you know, again, you're going to have some other things and whatnot, so that's a good thing. Because it looks like, you know, you got some things that are here from 2 days ago and 3 days ago. So as long as it does rather well, it's going to stay visible, at least on this page. I mean, it's not going to make front page of Reddit or anything, but at least it's available. Okay, so that's me stroking my ego enough. Let me go back. Okay, so here's some newest submissions. I'll keep an eye on that, and I did post in the subreddit that I'll be doing this in about 10 to 15 minutes. So here I am now. I'm doing it, and I did at the again, the Discord. If you want to go to here, the links are on the descriptions of the channel or on the video. Yeah, if you're watching. And that's what I usually do during on a daily basis when I'm about to start the stream. And then on a weekly basis, I bump it on the Kohi forums and whatnot. I'm going into more detail right now because I assume some people are going to be watching the stream that are new to what I'm doing. So yeah, you got a few forums that you want to keep them, you know, because some people will check one and not the other, and they may not be aware that there's a, you know, again, something kind of cool out there now that can maybe help. Because, you know, if it was a book, yeah. Some people liked the book, some people didn't, because it was just his story. Reviewing the kanji was great because it was shared stories. But again, maybe some people didn't like that. So now they got a video that they can actually look at and have somebody that's drawing it out for them, and they may like that better. So depending on how you like to learn, it's now out there. And if there's another way of doing it, you know, make it available. And now I have no problem sharing it out on me, and you know, options. I just believe in options. There's no one true way, because none of us learn in the same fashion as another. You know, we all got our little quirks of how we like to learn. Alright, so today, let's see, reviews. So right now from yesterday, so I got 45 reviews for kanji that I will be going before I start. Alright, and then at the end of that, okay, so after I do that, I'll learn a lesson, which will be lesson 50. So another 15 kanji in lesson 50. And then there's, let's see, 70 for vocabulary, 40 for grammar. This one vocabulary word there, and then the 20 right here for advanced basic Japanese grammar dictionary. All right, so it looks like based on this, I should be able to get another. I should be able to get 2 lessons done, give or take. Might run a little bit over 3 hours, but yeah, I think I'll be able to get yeah, 2 lessons done at the minimum 1. You know. All right, so let's do like I did yesterday. I'm going to actually. I did this yesterday for the first time. I liked it, and I even linked the video to the description, just showing me actually, you know, looking at the answer and then writing it out. So let's just continue. All right, so here we go. And again, if you're watching live, yeah, feel free to comment or whatnot. If you're watching this later, make comments in the video descriptions below. You know, I'll try to get to it or answer it. Again, no problem. and whatnot. Let's go. Let us begin. Okay, close that out. Come here. Okay, so we'll shrink that down. Alright, do something like that. And make sure we got our little drawing thing. Alright, so here we go. Alright, and make sure the pen is working. Okay, pen is working. Alright, so here we have his damage. Alrighty. So that's the fingers of the employees. You know, usually the most damage to a store is done by the fingers of the employees, either through stealing or breaking stuff. We got a El Japonese con Afe. Hey there, Nick Marine. Awesome initiative. And he posts on, I think he posts on the Kohi forums. Alright, so this is damage. Hason. And where am I not? There it is. Okay. Next up, discard. Okay, so that's the fingers in the cottage. So there's the finger. We want to do cottage, which is remember it's earth. Well, don't worry about the story. Okay, so let's find that. Discard Suteru. Right there. Ego Wagasha. All right, and that's the masturbation party hand fiesta. Okay, ego. Okay. Yeah, that's this way you want to hear the words masturbation party on your. No, Mom, honestly, I am studying Japanese. This is a pickup. Oh yeah, that's the antique. No, wait, that's pinch. Pickup. Oh, meeting. Pick up puzzle pieces and make sure they meet. So there's the fingers, and you want to pick up. So you want to make sure the puzzle pieces that you pick up fit together. So there's pick up. And what is that saying? Hiro or Shotoku? So let's see, there's the fingers. Alright, and this is challenge. That's the finger that throws down the turtle shell, if you want to think of Mario Kart. Sort of like escape, but you know, If you want to challenge someone to a game of Mario Kart, you throw the turtle shell down at their feet. Sure. This is Chosen. What I know it as Chosen. That's one of the words I know that uses it. Let's see. Load. All right. So this is the one for Thanksgiving. So this is one where you load up the car for Thanksgiving. So you want to do the car. There's Thanksgiving. All right. And then you finish up the thing for Thanksgiving. Okay. Load. And this is Nosedu or Nodu. It's that one right there. Beckon. So that's the finger that beckon someone to come closer to you. So do the little finger wave. Alright, and that's seduction. Beckon, so maneku. I wonder if it's a play on maneko. Is a play on that? Revise. Alrighty, so that's the words that you nail down. During the revision of your words, you want to make sure you nail it down. Nail down your words when you revise it. Okay. That nail. Alright, and there's like 6 people watching, so that's about more than normally is watching in the stream. So again, if you're new to this, make any comments you want, talk amongst yourselves or ask me a question, I'll answer it. I'm doing reviews. I don't have no problem doing reviews part. Might be less likely to talk as much when I'm doing the lesson, because that's being recorded formally for later on. Conjecture, so that's the conjecture about fingering a turkey. Oh boy, oh god. I'm wondering what you are going to think about these stories now. Okay, conjecture. Alright, so it's Osu or Suishin. Let's see. There we are. Finger in turkey, or ET in turkey. Criticism. Conjecture ET is nothing more than a bald turkey. Yeah. Criticism. So that's, I think, critics, criticism. So that's the fingers that compare. Thumbs up and thumbs down. And compare. Okay. I don't even really know what words it uses. Oh, Hihan. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Hihan. Okay, that's good. Let's go to the next one. What we got? Destroy. Not side. Okay, so this is to destroy everything in path. So there is what you want: water, and then the march of fire. So you want to do march, which is fire. Okay, march of fire. Destroy. You're right there. Well, that's burn. What do I want? There it is. There's the story. And it looks like I need to redo that. Yeah, okay, I'll worry about that a little later. So the way it was saying is that the fire, yeah, okay, never mind, I kind of distorted that enough. Scenery, so that's the sun over the capital, providing nice scenery. So let's do the sun. And capital, if you ever seen Kyoto, that's the tall hat mouth, and then little, so that's scenery. Okay, and there it is. Sketch, that's the finger sketching the flowers on the field. Think of Bob Ross if you want to. So sketch. Also, it's like a egaku. Flowers, there's the field. Boom. Alrighty. Sketch, egaku. Pose right there. And like I say, you can look at these, kind of remind yourself that it has other words. Like gentleman is also samurai. So I just think of, Ken Watanabe, Last Samurai. Not Tom Cruise. He's the few of a few good men. Okay. Aggression. Oh. Ooh. Shoot. Yeah, craft. Aggression. So yeah, art. Unfortunately, I accidentally screwed myself because I looked at this and now I know what it is. But yeah, here's aggression. It's actually I-beam, and then Indiana Jones or the Taskmaster. So at the whip wielding, and that's aggression. So sometimes he uses aggression in order to get through the building. You ever notice, like when he was going through, he just destroys everything when he tries to go through these temples. Very aggressively. You would think he'd be a little bit nicer about how he treats things. Aggression, and that's attack or aggression. Yeah. Confront. Fingers in the whirlwind. Oh yes, that's E.T. confronting the FBI agents. Throws up their trucks in a whirlwind. Okay, so there's E.T., the finger, and then the whirlwind. Top hat, we're on a wind. Alrighty. Confront. And if you are watching, what happens after I'm done with the lesson? When I'm done with the reviews, I go into the lessons, and Although this is part 2 level, so it's chastise. Utsu, Tohatsu, Kento, chastise. No, well, I mean, it's this right here. I didn't memorize it though, unfortunately. Words that stick like glue, you know, when you chastise someone, make sure your words stick like glue. Aggression, damn, I also forgot that one, even though I see Kogeki, I can read it, no problem, yeah. And that's why I say don't sweat the fact that you forgot that that particular kanji was attached to that particular word. If you already know the kanji itself, you've won. That's the main purpose. It's not about, and that's something that it took a little bit of time for me to realize is that attaching the English word to that kanji was helpful, but it's not the end goal. It's the halfway step to get you to attaching Japanese pronunciation concepts to that kanji. Yeah, so if you can remember that kanji because of Kogeki, that's kind of the reason also why I included this stuff up here. Kento, Topatsu, or Utsu, but again, I didn't know that. I don't know this word for chastise anyway, so nothing I can do about it. Alright, and this is watch over. So this is also another version of miru, but you want to put your hand to watch over children. You want to make sure you keep your hand over your eye, keep the sun, keep the sun out while you watch over your children. And that's the kan of kanban, but also kangoshi for nurse. And instruction, words flowing like river. So this is the kun of kunyomi, by the way. Yeah, so that's instruction. Words flow in the stream of instruction. Okay, intimidate. So that's the march of women. Intimidation. So you can do march, women, or you could do Wonder Woman if you want to do that for women. And that's intimidation. Intimidate the male chauvinist. Yep, right there. Alright, that's good. That took about 4 minutes. And like I said, it would be a little faster if I didn't bother writing it down. In fact, for the first course I didn't bother with that because, again, I've written these down like, maybe a couple dozen times already by this point. Pinch, so that's the finger with the... But this one, these are the ones I haven't gone over in a long time. Alright, so a few of them I've forgotten, or I don't know any words. I don't personally know words that use them, like this right here. I don't know the words for pinch. It says sumu, or clip, turn, pluck. So for me, it's probably good to actually go and write these down. Even the ones like, well, Yume obviously is an easy one, so that's flowers. There's the eye, crowning your sleep at night. Okay, so that's a kanji all kids like to learn to write, and when they're learning shodo, it's like calligraphy, but with the brushes, larger brushes. It's things that you like to draw for their, display in their house for their mom and dad. Range. All right, so that's where you can kind of get the idea for cowboy. So you do the field and then the home on the range. So think of this thing on the right as cowboy if you want. And think about here also, if you learn country, you'll find out also this was evolved into a little takara or jewel or whatnot. It's kind of weird. We'll see. I don't know if it evolved to it, or they just switched it out. I'm sure somebody who's a historian of this knows. Okay, humility. That was that was the Tin Man learning humility. About the truth of his situation. Was he reborn or was he just made mobile again? When humility, and again, careful, discreet. Flourish, and that's the in the schoolhouse, the tree flourishes. Let's get a new screen. All right, so there we got the owl, and then we got the school, so this is schoolhouse, and then we got the tree that flourishes in the under the care of the children. Sagairu hae, right there. refreshing, so that's the water thrown on the capital, refreshing idea. And this is the Suzushi, or cool, kind of like a Tatakai is for warm. Let's see, admonish, awesome words, admonish, and awe is flowery phrases for the taskmaster. Whew. Okay, yeah, so this is the awe. So we want flowery phrases, which is flower and phrases bound up now. Then we want the taskmaster, so that's awe. But then we want phrases, awesome words, admonish. And that's also for police or keisatsu. Do they have that there? Yeah, they got keisatsu. So that's the K of keisatsu. There we go. Circumference. So this is also the shu of shukan, but this is like mawadu, or go around something, circumference, or navigate around something. Also to tune, not tune, I'm sorry. But yeah, there's the dirt and mouth for the clay crock pot, so that's the circumference of the crock pot. Yeah, shu. Mawadi, I guess, is going around or something. Circuit or a lap. Annexed, so this was the Tears in Heaven one. But again, water, same thing, annexed to water supply, you know, and then you want to funnel that water, and this maybe it's like a I'm tell you what, I'm kind of wondering. Annex, come here. This is from yesterday, right? I think I did. Let's see, I'm not seeing it. Although it's real easy to hit, there it is. Okay, yeah, I thought so. So it is that, I was making sure I drew it right. About the stroke order is, yeah, so it is that. Reason why I was this is like this part down here was Valentine. So normally it still represents heart, but this is normally the order for heart. But you see that he's doing this long part first, then the 3 strokes there. So similar to how you do, a little opposite of how you do the state of mind for the Tin Man in his heart-shaped locket. So you got Valentine's. Anyway, sorry about that. It's Alright, foothold, so that's the fingers and the disposing, or fingers, Gandalf, and win. I try to keep these as separate. Sometimes you want to keep it as the like this right here is disposed, but sometimes you want to keep them separate. It depends on whatever works for you in the stories. Show 10, here we go. Show 10, show Okay, 5 minutes. How are we doing? A couple more of these, and we can start learning on going on the lessons. So this went a little faster than yesterday, if only because it was 75 reviews yesterday as opposed to 45 today. So this is handle, so this is the finger of the guy, and then we wanted to reach out. So in this case, yeah, I'm thinking right now using a baby reaching out with both hands. So whenever I'm seeing this, I'm just going to imagine that from now on. That's better. And then without that last stroke, it becomes fist, closed fist. Property, so that's the SpongeBob getting money, and he, like an Einstein, he invested in property, which maybe a second pineapple under the sea. Okay, maneuver, so that's the yeah, that's maneuvering around the nest, try to get the eggs out of the nest without being bit by the bird. So, and really for this you want to do a little bigger mouth than 2 smaller mouths, but this is the yeah, so 3 mouths in tree is goods and trees is, I just think of as nest. Okay, maneuver, and again that's operate, steer, chastity. It's also misal, or your virtue or your virginity. Stiff. Alright, so that's moving rocks all till the night's end, till the till what was it calling that? Yeah, grow late till it grows late. Move rocks till it grows late. Your body's going to get stiff. Yep, there it is. Grow stiff. Put up a notice. That's the finger putting up a notice above the sleeping siesta guy. Do not disturb. All right, so there. And this is the Te of Teijiman. So there's the sun. There's the little poncho wrapped around the guy that's sleeping. So there's a siesta. Okay, put up a notice. Yeah, and this is K of KG bulletin board. History. So this could be, think of mouth, and then there's C3PO, and that is seen that as being history. Yeah. Rikishi. Yeah. Probably mouth was going to be bigger. Safeguard. So this is the Greenpeace. So this is the microphone in Greenpeace saying they'll safeguard the whales, shave the whales. All right. So there. So you got the flowers. You got the turkey, and treating turkeys like little watery crotch rockets or something. What I call sea-doos or jet skis. Okay. Reach out. So that's the oh yeah, that's right. That's just imagine the baby reaching out instead of with the closed fist. It's like two open hands reaching out to reach out. And portable. So this is the K-tie. So this is a portable turkey. So you want to grab a turkey by the neck and put the fist under the turkey to hold it up. So there's the finger. Finger and fist. Okay, but anyway, yeah, let's do turkey. And then do the fist underneath. Alright, and that's the K of K-tie. In fact, if you remembered belt, I think we're going to do belt, but just in case. So if you remembered belt, I think if you remember belt, so that's K-tie, and then you got denwa, which we already know denwa, so here's the electricity right there. And we got talk, right? Alright, so K-tie, denwa, there's your word for cell phone. And that's just kind of the fun thing about kanji is like, okay, you get some meanings, you can play some puzzle games that way if you want to, but also you get pronunciations as you start getting those into your head, and it's just kind of all blends together. All of a sudden you don't even need to, have a dictionary, but you sort of know what a word means by the presence of the kanji, and you kind of even know how it's pronounced roughly. You might get a little wrong or something, but if you hear it, if you're hearing it on TV and you see it in the subtitles, you definitely kind of know what it is. You just kind of like you can learn words passively rather well. Alright, there's Suck with the baby with the two hands reaching out to the mom. Alright, 5 more to go and we can start learning. So again, just to make sure for those that are watching, is it okay? I mean, is this cool, or is this kind of boring of just hearing me talk while I'm reviewing at least for the kanji part of it? Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to do beat. So this is where we're going to beat somebody's ass. So, and why do you want to beat somebody's ass? Because you're driving your car down, right? Some asshole threw a rock or a missile at it, right? And you're going to get out of that car, grab him by your hand, and beat his ass up. Okay, beat. That's the geki of kogeki. In fact, there it is. Yeah, kogeki. So aggression and beat. Coach. So this was the uncle and the black eye. So let's do uncle. We think of Uncle Dursley, which is from Harry Potter, who was a kind of a crotch or a dick. And then in this case, there's a guy, a coach, who could be a coach, give a black eye, or a good uncle. He could be a good uncle who watches over the guy who's a good coach and keeps an eye on all the teammates, all the team members, make sure they're all doing good, not just his favorites. Angry. Okay, so this is a guy, lady's angry at the guy who thinks looks only at her crotch and not thinking about her heart. Angry. Okoru. Okota. I'm getting very, very okota. Sean Connery. Scottish man speaking Spanish, or speaking Japanese. That's kind of funny. Alright, this is the action movie. So this was the fingers. I'm trying to remember. It was the friends. Oh yeah, this is the finger, and then there's the friends, right? And then because obviously you're grabbing your friend by the finger, make sure he doesn't drop over the edge of the cliffhanger, and then bloop, goes off the side. And this is nuku. Okay. Drown. So this is water missiles, but this also means to sink or disappear. Even if he's okay, but again, so we got drown here, so it kind of gives away. So we got water missiles, or if you think of doing torpedoes. But again, it has more of a meaning about disappearing or going away. Alright, that was easy. Well, not so easy. Right now it's like 30 minutes after, let's see, I started about 5 minutes in, so it's about a 25-minute review or something, right? I'm not sure. I have to think about it. For 45. Alrighty. Alright, so let's go with here. Alright, what am I doing? Alright, let me take off my earpiece. I don't even know why I have the earphones in. I'm not listening to audio. Oh, okay. Alright, let's see. How are we doing right now? We are on number 8. And lesson 14. And what I've been doing is slowly adding in lessons, like going through doing copy pasting. So right now I'm up to 19. I'll probably do 4 tomorrow and another 4 and 4. Just try to do 4 a day of copy pasting stories. It takes about an hour or so, or not an hour. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes to do 4 lessons like that. And what I need to do for a couple of these in here is going to introduce, if you remember last lesson, the primitive for person, who I associate with Batman, but most of the stories that I copy pasted from the website still have mainly have the Marine Sentry there for my story, because that was the person I used before I switched over to Batman. And if you go to reviewing the kanji, most of the stories shared, at least the top ones, are going to mention Mr. T, a character from the A-Team. Now, it's neither here nor there. I just think Batman made a much better visual for a person. But anyway, that's going to be happening like 17 or 18, so in a couple, 2 or 3 days, be running into that. So I may go through and change those stories up on my own, just because. Keep it more consistent, at least with what I'm offering and whatnot. But also it's okay is that, hey, I don't have to have everything match up. Stories are stories. And you can change it on the fly. You find something like you say, hey, you know what? You just backtrack, you mentally change up a story in your head, even if you haven't written it down anywhere. And there's no problem, because most likely you never look at these stories past the initial time because if they're a really good story, they already stick with you, because this is visually, it just assaults your senses, and it just overcomes. This becomes a part of your mental library, which is really what you want, especially for these kanjis. Yep. All right, so let's shrink this down. All right, so we'll go down. How far are we doing here? Okay, I think that's good, right? Yeah, okay. So that's good. Let me go and delete these. Control delete. Okay, let me scoot forward a little bit in my chair. Alrighty. Whew. Alrighty. Lesson 14. I'll tell you what, we'll leave here first, and I'll introduce it from this page. Alright. Where's my pen at? Here's my pen. Alright, so we're going to say RTK 50. We might do RTK 51. Alright. And yeah, if there's any questions, just feel free to ask. I might, depending on the situation, have to ignore it, because I tend to I might get distracted on what I'm trying to cover for the lesson. So I apologize for that. Hopefully I'll be able to remember to get back to it. And yeah, if it's the first time ever watching, it sounds like I'm talking. It's gonna sound like I'm talking to a disembodied person. That's some type of student in the future, or you yourself. Especially if you're, because not too many people are actually at this point in their studies. So the idea is like, okay, in the future these videos will be there waiting for them. So this isn't meant for the initial fancy factor. This is meant for the long haul of anyway, that's the hopes. That's my hopes and dreams. Alright, so we got that. Which seems, and let me make sure I got my, let's see, what are, okay, it looks like we're here. Page 37. Alright. And number 723. Yeah, and there's Coach. Alright, good. Alright, we are ready. Let us begin. Let's get the time down. It is 34 minutes, 40, we'll say 50 seconds. It is the 19th of January, and we can begin. And welcome. This is Nuke Marine, and I am presenting the suggested guide for Japanese literacy. This is a course series that is in 12 parts, currently on Memorize, and we are going on course number 8, which is Remembering the Kanji Optimized, Part 2. Presenting the second series of 555 kanji, this time from Book 2 of the 2001.kanji.odyssey book series by Coscom. And presenting those kanji and remembering the kanji order for more efficient and effective memorization and learning. If you enjoy this video, remember to hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and because I'll be making hopefully content daily. Most of it's going to be streaming, but you may enjoy maybe some other things now and again. And finally, I'll add that consider sharing it on social media if you find that there are some people that you know of that may be interested in learning Japanese in this rather unusual method of self-study, or not as common method of self-study, but again, I feel has been effective. I think we've got a few thousand people who have gotten to a good degree of proficiency following methods similar to this with regards to self-study. All right, so we are in lesson 51. I'm sorry, lesson 50. All right, so we're going to cover the next 15 kanji for a day. Should be about from 40 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on the situation. I usually go a little bit faster because this is part 2. A lot of these primitives you've already been covered with. If it's a brand new period, if it's a brand new primitive, then I will take a bit more time on it. All right, with that, we can begin. Preview. Alright, good. And now when you're here, remember we get the Heisei keywords, which is roughly a meaning of this kanji, but it's not the only meaning. There are some others that I will be introducing. In addition to, the purpose of the keyword is to make you think of the story, but this isn't the only story. You can create your own. Also, I'll be showing you Japanese words that use this kanji and how they pronounce it, but the purpose is not to memorize these words, nor is it to memorize the pronunciation of this kanji in its various forms. That comes later when you start studying up on grammar and vocabulary. This is more for completionists and kind of give you a feeling of what these kanjis mean. And if you've been watching this for the last 50 lessons, this is the 50th time I've covered it. Okay, here we go. Now let's make sure, is this the correct one? Make sure I'm not. Alright, so yes, it should be slope. So we can begin now. Alright, so this is slope, an incline, or a hill. So remember, this is Saka, or famously it's just referred to as Saka or a hill. And let's see if I can change that location. That's a bad location. God darn it. Maybe we can. Okay, we'll just leave it like that. Okay, so this is Saka, slope or a hill. Q Saka, a steep slope or a steep gradient. Okay, so pretty much is Saka, hill. Let's go with what Heisei has to bring into the matter. Well, here's the story real quick. As you fly down the ski slope, okay, there's slope, you observe the soil is going anti the level of the ground. It's effectively a slope. So you got ground level, and then you got a slope, essentially the dirt going up, or opposite of wherever the ground should be. So anti, or if you want to, hippies coming down the slope, doing a protest. If you want to do the hippie primitive. Let's go with what Heisei has to say. So this is 736. Alright, so last thing we covered was, let's see, we got coach, loneliness, graceful. So here we have is anti. Let's just cover that real quick. We already covered this anyway, but again, do cliff. Alright, and then do crotch inside the cliff. And then for here, depending on whatever you want to do, it could be anti, opposite, or I think, flower hippies, or hippies. Some type of visual for hippie, or some type of person who's anti-anything. Whatever it is that current political culture gives you. So here we have is slope. So let's do that. So we have anti on slope, ground, and anti, and we kind of got the story. So the slope is when the ground is going anti to gravity. So we'll say, let's do this in parts. Okay, so slope, ground, anti. There's the cliff. Anti, and there's a crotch. There's like, however you want to do for so a slope, saka. Next kanji, plank. Now we have is tree and anti. Don't confuse it with lumber. But here's some more. So plank, board, plate, stage. So try not to confuse it with lumber. So this is plank of wood as opposed to lumber itself, which may be construction lumber. So this is a plank. Here we have is ita, a board, a plank, a sheet of metal, plate of glass, something like that. Some type of board. So this is the ban. If you remember kan and say kanban, so this is a signboard out in front of a sign. Tepan, iron plate, something for cooking. Tepan yaki, nikupan or kokuban, a blackboard. So kudo or black and literally black plank or blackboard. Keijiban, bulletin board, display board, notice board. So ban, plank of wood. Here's a story. Walking out on a horizontal tree is a colorful dressed hippie. Forced to walk the plank. Well, that's one of the things. So we have tree and hippie. Or you could say for plank is like the tree is being surrounded by a bunch of hippies in order to prevent the tree from being turned into a plank, into planks. You know, that could be another visual you can think of. Here's what Isaac has to say. There's plank, tree, and anti. So there you go. I'm going to keep with the second story because it sounds a little better. So just think of for plank, obviously tree comes to mind. In this case, it's plank, but you got a tree surrounded by a bunch of hippies because they want to prevent that nice looking tree from being turned into planks of wood. Alright, so there's tree and hippie, or tree and anti. Next kanji. Gentle. It looks like we got vulture claws, or you could also call them bird claws, and woman. But gentle, peace, and also depravity. Some words that use this. So let's see. We don't have anything there. Dato, valid, proper, right, appropriate. Okay. Daketsu, settlement or agreement. Then we have dakyo, first word, compromise, giving in. Not too much on depravity. Okay. But yeah, it's overly gentle women. Alright, so this is a sexist story, sorry about that, but anyway. Overly gentle women are vultures, so there's vultures or bird claws, who want to marry you and steal your money. Not true, but an easy mnemonic. Overly gentle woman, okay. Okay, so we got return, we got marketing. So let's introduce real quick claw, and then the variants of it, and then we'll go to gentle. Let's go to lead here. Alright, so again, we remember, so we got claw. That's kind of like with axe, first two strokes of axe. Alright, and then that's claw. And then what you'll see is it'll be kind of like a drop and then do the owl or the top of the schoolhouse. But this becomes bird claw or vulture if you want a visual or whatnot. I usually think of bird claws. So now we want to do is gentle. So if you want to, a lady is gentle, even though she has nails that look like bird claws, so you can say fingernails that look like bird claws, the woman gently caresses your back, if you want to say gently. So there's bird claws woman, gentle, and peace or derived, so gentle. Next one's floating. So we're going to learn this is like duckling, like bird claws and child. So I just say think of a duckling or floating fledglings, water. So floating, this could float, to rise to surface. Words that use this, like ukabu, float, ukareru, uku. Yeah. Let's see. We also have as huchin, floating and sinking, rise and fall, ebb and flow. Okay, there you go. Float and sink. Furioku, second word, buoyancy, floating power. Then we have is fuhaku, frivolous, fickle, insincere, capricious. Okay. So anyway, floating, rise to the surface. So this should not be difficult. You can think of this as being a rubber ducky if you want to, but when you hear floating, just think of baby ducks, fledglings in the water. Pretty sure the kanji has water has a lot to do with it. So you think of float, you think of kanji anyway. Here's what Isaac has to say. So we got gentle. Here we have fledgling, vulture, and child combined, airy, full of. Actually, now I'm kind of wondering. Let's see. Let's look at fledglings. Sometimes I'm thinking like baby birds, but Isaac uses a young bird that just fledged, a person, okay, inexperienced, kind of like younglings, but we'll say if you want baby ducks, or baby ducks works better for me. Let's go with that. Anyway, here's what Isaac say: claw and child. Then we're going to be going to floating. So let's do those in parts. All right, so let's do fledgling first. So we do claw. Okay, so we got the bird claw, and maybe it's growing the baby duck. So maybe it's a bird going to the fledgling. I just think of a baby duck, rubber duck. There you go, fledgling. So now we want to do is floating. So obviously we want to float in water. And what floats in water? If you remember the Arthur, let's go this in parts. Remember, if a wood floats in water, what's a duck? Good sir. So if she weighs the same as a duck or a fledgling, then she's made of wood, and therefore a witch or whatever. Yeah, if you want to do Monty Python, then bring that in there as well. Sure. Leader. Now we have bird call and glue coming here. So this is the show of Shogun. So here I learned army. So it's, yeah, leader of something. So Shodai. The future or near prospects is one example. And let's see, shogi. This is a game like chess, a Japanese chess game. Shogi. Taisho. Seventh word. A general, an admiral, or the boss. Taisho. And maybe Bei Taisho or Rikujo Taisho or something about the, depending on whether Army General or Navy General. Or Kai, Beikai Taisho. Let's see what Isaac has to say on the matter. So we got floating. Here we got leader. Now there it's yeah, turtle, virtue, glue. So let's look at this real quick. So there's a turtle. So it's like not turtle shell, but turtle. And then we got, so here we have what's the story? Old myth about leadership has a turtle tricking a vulture by playing dead to try to eat it. However, the turtle has covered itself with glue to stick to the vulture. Thus did the turtle gain speed and flight. From here, he became leader of all turtles. I think that's my story. I think, and it's something I made up. But it sounds like something that would happen in fantasy. All right, so let's we still got bird call, so let's do that. So we want to make sure about turtle. So over here, remember turtle shell, right there. So remember to draw that. But what we want to do is do the spark. So that's turtle. So we want to do turtle for show. So think of the leader of the turtles. So maybe it's Ninja Turtles. If you want to use that for turtles, and alright, then we had the vulture, so he needed to fly to somewhere, so he needed to trick the vulture into grabbing it, but not eating it. So he covered his body in glue, or his shell in glue, and there he was able to become now became a flying turtle, became the leader of all turtles. He traveled fast and light, boom, with the, yeah. Okay, so it's leader. Okay, now we have his pick, so we got finger, we got bird claw, and tree, so don't confuse this with pinch or pluck. This is pick, take, fetch, take up, toru. If there comes issues, and message me if you find out there's problems, like you're confusing this word with some other words and you're not thinking of the correct kanji, that's fine. Give me a message and I'll try to, I can just edit this where it says don't pick these particular kanjis. That's easy to do. So anyways, have toru is take. There's multiple ways of toru, so you're going to see this word pop up and use different kanji depending on context. So this is to take, fetch, take up. Let's see, saishu, collecting or gathering. Okay, sayo, use, adoption, acceptance, employment, engagement. Saiko, the fifth word, saiko, lighting. And sixth word, saiko, mining. Okay, interesting. Alright, let's see what Isaac has to say on the matter real quick. So we have leader, we have exhort, pick. Unlike pick up, this is used for picking fruit from trees. Okay, so it's picking fruit from a tree. I like that. Fair enough. So it's like pick fruit from a tree. Let's draw it. We can still do it here. So again, for you hear pick, you're automatically going to think of finger. So there's a finger. It could be, in this case, ET. So maybe ET is going to pick fruit from a tree, so he has to go and trick the vulture from leaving him alone, because ET looks like a dead body. It's like, no, he's not dead. Maybe he howls like a dog or something. And then of course we think of picking fruit, then you want to think of the tree. Alright, so pick, and I didn't screw that up, right? Alright, so yeah, ET, vulture, or finger, vulture, tree. Next kanji. Impart. This is like to give to. So impart, instruct, gain. So okay, good. Impart knowledge, impart wisdom, grant, confer. Yeah, if you're not sure about impart, you can always do a search for that. Again, Isaac uses make known, make communicate. So impart knowledge. So think of impart knowledge. Let's see, we got Sazukeru. Yeah, in front. We got come here. Juyo. First word, award or conferment. Denju, denju, initiation into the, no wait, sorry. Yeah, initiation or instruction, denju, second word, not the first word. And then kyoju, kyoju, first word, professor, teaching, instruction, kyoju. Alright, fingers upon a collection plate. We'll figure out about this. I don't like that story. That's a lame story. Bad story, bad story, bad touch. Let's see. So we're going to look finger, it looks like collection plate. Let's look what Isaac says. He's going to be adding some stuff. So he's got pick, vegetable. So right now he's going to do birdhouse, which is claw over crown, or basically claw being the top of the house. So now it's a birdhouse. So think about that, and then we'll do it with the accept and impart. Okay, so let's do this. We'll do this in parts. Okay, so first thing we want to learn is birdhouse. So there's the claw. Okay, for representing the bird, and then you want the crown, kind of like the bottom part of the house. So right there, birdhouse. And now we want to do is accept. So there we have. I don't know if we did this, but anyway, there we have the birdhouse, and then the crotch right there. So maybe this birdhouse, you can think of it as being a term for in this case birdhouse, like a prostitution house. You know, trying to accept any and all crotches. So accept or receive. So now we want to do it impart. Now impart means to give instruction. So maybe if you want to think of something vulgar, if you want to keep this this type of thing like a brothel or whatnot, so you got to think about imparting knowledge or wisdom. So you want to say maybe guy with the ET with his long finger was trying to teach people at the birdhouse what was it? Cat house? Yeah, birdhouse, cat house, or something. I think it was a term for a brothel. That's a little, or whorehouse, birdhouse, whorehouse. To impart how to use the fingers the best on both the employees and the customers. So we can do that in parts. Okay, so we got bird, we got the claw, or you can think of stories you want yourself. There's nothing here. So there's a bird, there's a crown, and there's finger, bird claw, crown, or the birdhouse. Then add the crotch. That could be the brothel or whorehouse if you want to use that as a mental image. There's ET. It's all up to you. Again, this is your own personal story. It's not like you have to share it with anybody. Yeah. So yeah, and then impart instruction, to impart. Okay. Okay, we got the birdhouse again, but we have heart and looks like Gandalf working here. But anyway, this is love, I, and this is a very common name in a lot of females, in a lot of ladies' names in Japan. This is the I. You're going to hear Aiko a lot. A lot of people have their name, yeah. Oh boy, so this is love, I. Affection, favorite. Here you have his I, love and affection. So aijo, love, affection. Aidoku, reading with pleasure, reading for pleasure, reading with pleasure. Renai, love making, passion, emotions. Okay. Love, affection, affection. Okay, so here we have put an all-male birdhouse full of roosters, if you will, whose hearts beat fast as a long-legged stilts that they can't help but love walk by. Probably a cartoony version of Foghorn Leghorn with his heart beating. Yeah, so this is my story, but from way back when. But we got birdhouse, we got heart. In Gandalf, maybe you could say it's like, remember how Gandalf went to Radagast? If you saw the Hobbit one, he went to Radagast Brown. You found out Radagast Brown he did have a birdhouse, but he felt a lot of love toward the animals of all the animals because he was, again, kept in charge of the forest. Radagast Brown, so maybe you could say that as love. You can also say bird. Again, you felt love toward both your pets. So you can say birdhouse for pets. Your heart beats. That type of love and affection. Or you can bring up love with love of another person. Maybe a lady with long legs. Your heart beats fast. However you want to do it. Let's do it. Let's bring up what Isaac has to say with the matter. So we got accept, impart. Here we have love, birdhouse, heart, walking legs. No big deal there. Let's do it. All right. So we have birdhouse. So think of love. Think I love all my birds, or love all my. We'll do claw. There we got the. So now we got the birdhouse. And then in the birdhouse is maybe that little rooster, in this case Foghorn Leghorn, it was heart beating fast. You want to keep that story. It's a good story. It'd also be Radagast Brown, his heart's beating fast when he thinks of animals he loves are about to pass away. And here comes Gandalf to go and help him out, because again, some evils possessing the forest, hurting those he loves. Yeah. Next kanji, broaden. So we're going to learn elbow here real quick. So let's learn elbow first. So we learn that, and then we'll come back here. And there's nothing new. We've covered these a lot in the previous part. But again, elbow is just mu. You know, the katakana for mu. It can be elbow. That could be the however you want to say it. Like this is the elbow and that's the hand, or this is the elbow and that's the hand doing a salute. You know, this is the shoulder. However you want to look at it. But elbow. All right. So here we have is broaden. To extend, expand, enlarge. So here's yeah. So this is dai, kaku. So kaku dai, magnification, enlargement, expansion. So broaden and big. Kakucho, expansion, enlargement, or escape. So okay, and then kakuseiki, megaphone. Okay, that's cool. Bullhorn. Kakuseiki. I like that. Broaden voice and key is equipment or mechanism. Broaden voice equipment, broaden voice instrument. Bullhorn. Those are the fun things you can do with kanji. Alright, so let's say broaden. Let's see what Isaac has. Oh, anyway, you see finger or ET, cave, and elbow, or widen. Or so you can see, you know, you can imagine ET making the cave, or the cave, Elliot's cave, bigger by using his finger to push the walls apart. Widen the cave, or you can say broaden it so that when you open your hands, you want to make sure your fingers don't touch the sides of the cave. You know, you want to have broaden the sides of the cave. Let's see what Isaac has to say. So we got elbow, pay. Here we got wide, cave, and elbow. And we got broaden. The connection to the previous character is very close. Beware. So not wide, and this is broaden. Like so, this is more of an action as opposed to an adjective. More of a verb as opposed to an adjective. And let's draw this bad boy. Okay, so we want broaden. So we already knew wide. So let's think of a fingertip wanted to live in a wide cave, but it wasn't wide enough. Well, let's do this in parts. So alright, so you want to make sure your fingers don't touch the sides of the wide cave, so you broaden it to make sure you can have outstretched arms, you know, if you want to keep that mentality. Or you can see the fingers are used as pushing the sides of the cave apart to broaden it. Next kanji. Now we have his valve. This is probably valve is a bad word for this. This has this is used in various words. So let's say anyway. Valve, pedal, braid, speech, dialect, discrimination, dispose of, distinguish. So here we have is benjo, reimbursement, compensation, kind of like peisho, benjo. He also has second word is demonstration or proof. And we have benshi, a lecturer, a teacher. Let's see if they have. There's bengoshi, which is a lawyer. Kaben, flower petal. So there's a petal meaning there. There's there's yuben, vexillum or vein of a feather. Okay, I guess the stick part of a feather. It's yuben, oratory or elegance. It's got right now it's saying valve. Like I guess the opening of something. I just don't really like this. I mean, so this word has very little to do with the words you're going to see it used in. But anyway, for valve, it's kind of easy. You're going to see elbow in two hands. So the valve, you want to use, you know, a lot of elbow grease in two hands in order to open up or close the valve. I mean, that's a lot of elbow grease applied along with two hands to open a huge valve and pressure. There could be effort in speech. You want to add some of these things in here. I just remember this because of bengoshi and also kanben. Kanben shiteo. Let's see what Isaac has to say. Broaden, mineral, valve, there. And that's again, that's a big problem with Isaac. He just says valve. He didn't ask for any other type of information about it, which I think is in a few of these cases that was bad. Let's draw it though. But anyway, we hear valve. This thing opening a valve, so you want to apply elbow grease. So there's the elbow grease, and then you want to use both your hands. So we'll do it in 3 parts. There's both hands. All right, and that's valve. Ben. This is a ben of obento, like your lunch, but that's mainly because it's sometimes used for pronunciation. So for ben, it's using that as a pronunciation for a few words. That's the reason why the meaning doesn't seem to carry over. Like there's no real one meaning for it. Okay, now we have is reign. Now this could be to be at peace, calm down, subdue, quell. Also government, hence reign. Cure, heal, rule, reign, conserve. So it has some use some meanings. Let's see. Nothing there. Sumeru, naoru. Kind of like healing. Yeah, I guess it is used in healing, like terms for healing or cure or subdue. So it is used as a flavor of healing or repair or fix. Here we have a seiji, politics, government. Seiji ya, seiji ka would be like a politician, but whether one is in it for its own personal or as an actual statesman. Ryoji. Second word, treatment or therapy. So there's the cure thing. Let's see. Chian, public order, the first word. Chisui, flood control. And Jichi, self-government. So it felt like there was probably a better, yeah, that's okay. So here we have a picture of the god Neptune. So there's Neptune, and he reigns from the water. There's water, and his pedestal is like a throne. Okay, so it should be a pretty easy picture. You know, if you remember Clash of the Titans or something. See what Isaac has to say on it. So we got masculine, pedestal, elbow, mouth, neglect, rain. Here's okay, and then water and pedestal. Okay, so we'll keep it right here. So we'll do rain. So think of the reign of Neptune. So you think of rain as water, and think of water as being the reign of Neptune. All right, and he's you see him in his underwater throne, reigning from his throne. So the throne of Neptune. Or if you want to bring this as a rain, I don't know, maybe Aquaman. Maybe that's the thing for water is Aquaman. No, I'm not going to do it. Water is water. It can do many things. You don't need Aquaman for that. Plus, nobody likes Aquaman until maybe next year when Khal Drogo takes over. Climax. So this is a wall in wood. So this is climax, arrive, proceed, reach, attain, result. Right there. Some other words. Hitaru. I think that's. I'm not quite sure about that one. Shito. Fifth word, shito, just, fair, proper. Geishi, summer solstice. So it's like the peak there. And then toji. Okay, geishi, toji. Interesting. Winter solstice. So anyway, climax or peak, not climax as in sexual climax. Although if you want to, you can say sexual climax. So if you want to see this in other kanji, maybe attach it, if you have a favorite porn star, attach that character for climax. Just remember it's for walls and dirt. So, you know, again, if you want to watch porno, maybe you want to make sure you got covered walls with the dirt to soak up any of the mess. Whatever. However you want to look at that. Okay. So, walls tumbling down the ground, the climax of long... Yeah, so yeah, I think also like all the walls of a climax of a war, all the walls are like, you know, you barely have no roofs. There's just like barely 4 walls and just a lot of dirt everywhere. That's a good story there as well. Let's see what Isaac has to say. So we got rain, commence, womb, window, gone, method. Now we have his wall, which, again, I think we already covered this, but just make sure. So what do we do for method? So we kind of had method here. So we have elbow and dirt, so that's method. Now also what we want to do is also do wall, which is top part. So this would be wall. So that could be like the elbow, and then at the top, so the elbow room, think of the walls. You want the walls far enough so you have elbow room in your room. So walls. And this was dirt. Wall. So we have wall, meeting, climax. Oh yeah, here we have. So it's kind of like the keyword allows for to peak, arrive at, and the like. He's basically suggesting, yeah, the sexual version of climax. You can tell when he's trying to talk around a vulgarity sometimes. So, okay, so climax. So if you want to, you can do the 4 walls or climax or the climax of war or climax of a house. First thing is you need to have 4 walls, and then you got to get rid of all the dirt. And he pretty much is like you pretty much finalize your house, at least in Minecraft, maybe, if you want to think of Minecraft and all that, because you didn't even have to build a roof. Just make sure the walls are high enough and you can level out the dirt. Climax. And if you want to, again, porn star. It's up to you. Arrival. So we have climax and saber. So this is like the climax of the... Yeah, this is going to be a good story. So this is arrival. Proceed, to reach, attain, result in. So here we have is a good one. To-chaku. Arrival at a destination. To-chaku. Here we have is to-te. Cannot possibly, no matter how. To-te. And then we have is shuto, scrupulous, meticulous, careful. So proceed, attain, result in, but arrival. Usually arrival is because of tochaku. Yeah, so here we have is climax, or walls, dirt, and saber. However you want to do for the arrival. Like I always think of the arrival of the cavalry in my imagination. So it's always the climax of the cowboy movie where cavalry arrives, flashing their rifles and sabers on top of the horse. Yep. Let's see. We got climax here, room, arrive. Here we are, arrival, climax and saber. Saying arrival of the cavalry, and they're usually brandishing sabers. So we want to do arrival. So there's the walls. Dirt, if you want to think that for arrival, walls and dirt, and the walls come tumbling down at the when the Jericho came with the sabers at the climax of the story. In the but yeah, arrival. So we have climax, arrival, and this was elbow grease or elbow dirt. Gone. This is gone, but that was from. You don't have to worry about that. Oh, so we got gone and arrival. Yeah, go figure. Now we have doth. Now this is a version of to do, like a more polite way or formal way of saying stuff. So itasu or tashimasu, itasu. Doth, do, send, forward, cause, exert, incur. Okay, so there's a bunch of things dealing with the verb to do. Itasu. This character is used in two high frames. So you're welcome. Do itashimashite and onegai itashimasu. Yeah, it's right there. Some other words it uses. Yuchi, attraction, lure, invitation. Gachi, agreement, concurrence, conformance, compliance. And then huchi, taste or elegance. There you go, elegance. So something formal. So yeah, doth means to doeth. If you're not sure, again, you can always do a search. You know, search Google and see if they add something. Doth, me stinks the lady doth protest too much, or something like that. The lady doth protest too much, something like that. Archaic third person and singular of to do. Yeah, it's an archaic to do. If you need to. Here's how Heisig talks about it. So we got rival doth. The archaic version of English form does indicates a humble form of the verb to do. Okay, so climax, taskmaster. So he's just trying to, again, showing off. So we got climax and taskmaster. So doth. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. So I can imagine Indiana. So doth. I can imagine Indiana Jones saying that. So doth the in an arrogant way. You know, at the climax of the movie, that the lady's acting like she doesn't like Indiana Jones, and he's thinking you're doth protest too much. You know, and then they can kiss at the climax of the film. So we can do Indiana Jones in there. So doth. Because he was he's kind of an asshole in his movies at times to the women. Okay, and there's a little story if you want to. That's not my story, but I like the way he's describing it. Now this is mutually. This is a unusual kanji. So mutually, reciprocally, together. So give and take, back and forth. Yeah. So here we have is tagai. I know that's the word. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's see what here. So. Gokaku, equally, evenness, par, good match. Gozen, mutual election, co-opting, is also a second word. Gosen, mutual election. Gosen, staff, and for music, Gosen, 5 lowly casts of the Ritsuryo system. And yeah, not too much else. Then we have is Sogo, mutual, reciprocal. Gokaku. Pentagon. Oh, Gokaku. A pentagon. 5 angles. That makes sense. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. So here we have it saying like 2 walls. You can say mutual support. So you're going to do wall and down, or hanging club foot, and then almost like a U, or the key, what we call the key. Let's see what Heisig has to say with it. So we got arrival, doth. Here we have is mutual. 2 walls. Linking up 2 walls together. One is right side up, the other upside down. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of pushing it. But anyway, we'll just do the strokes real quick. So we got so you say that's the ceiling, and then this is one wall hanging from the ceiling. Then we got the other wall that's connecting to that wall right there. Then we want to do the floor. And this is mutual. mutually. So this is why you want to mutually connect things or together, back and forth, mutually. Mutually connecting walls, mutually connecting walls and floors. Walls, floors, and ceilings, mutually connecting. Or maybe that's how they hook up together. You know, make sure one's not giving any more than the other. And I tell you what, let's just go with stroke orders because that was boom, boom, boom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next kanji. We done? Jeez, that was quick. 33 minutes. That went by pretty fast. Okay. Well, let's put the little latch away. Oh, and look, we got some reviews popping up. I'll probably do all of those when time comes, but I need to learn these words first, and then we'll worry about the reviews later. In fact, I'll probably do these reviews right after I'm done with learning the 15. All right, so here's how we're going to do it. Gonna learn 5, get them fast. So let's take about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll be around the hour and a half mark. So I might take a quick break, get some more coffee and whatnot, and some water, and then get back to work. And oh, by the way, and Hopenez con Grafi, and Rafi and with Japanese with Rafi, I think. Yeah, I think. Thanks for the offering some of the comments during the reviews. That was good. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, that kind of helped with some of the discussion. Because I say I'm not like 100%. I'm not probably 50% knowledgeable in this. 10, 20%. Yeah, I mean, I might know some common words, but that's about it. And so I'm kind of limited, especially as we get further away from the basics. You know, because then this is like intermediate. This is like these are the kanjis that are used for N2. These are they're basically JLPT N2 level kanji, and this is what a lot of people who could be working for Japanese businesses, and you need to pass the N2 test. These are kanji that these styles are kind of what you're going to be needing to know. Then later on the intermediates, I'm going to be introducing another 1,000 or so for the intermediate part 1, and that's going to be essentially the JLPT N1. Even though, again, I'm calling this intermediate. So you'll have vocabulary and whatnot. I think by the time everything's done, especially if you do the dramas, you will be at a close, if not, able to pass an N1 level type of test. And if not, at least you'll probably have a level to where any business can just say, you know what, I don't need a test. You definitely have the abilities, especially if they can see you in person and what you can do. Okay, anyway, let's go to, let me go to levels real quick just to make sure. Alright, so I want to learn these 15 kanji, and let us begin. Okay, so that's slope, that's plank. Let's keep the two separate, dirt and wood. Slope, plank, that's tree, surrounded by hippies. Gentle, okay, that's claws of a woman, scratch you gently. Floating, that's little floating ducks in the water. Gentle. Depravity. Floating. Leader. Okay, and that's turtle. Turtle, bird, and blue. Slope. Saka. Sakura Zaka. Damn it, God, motherfucker. Okay, sorry, sorry about that. Then, okay, gentle. That had messed me up with similar words. Okay, we want tree and anti. It happens. Not a big deal. Let's see. That is slope. Like I said, they really want to screw people up if Memorize knew how to sort kanji based on their primitives. Ooh, and base that on this. Like for answers, they have to list kanji that have similar primitives. That would make this a lot more difficult, in a good way. That way, you definitely have to see the differences between kanji in order to distinguish them. Slope, leader. Floating. Leader, shogi, shogun. Floating. This is going to show the 4 characters, isn't it? Show leader. Yeah, slope. So that's a dirt and anti. Dirt going up the anti direction. Gentle. So this is going to do the 4 characters and skip that last one. That's going to be annoying. Floating. Hate when it does that. Gentle. But that's fine. Like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Like I said, I'm going to be finishing these. I mean, this goes fast. And hopefully the idea is like if you're doing the, you watch the video lesson and you just go straight. I mean, this would be the 50th time you've done it if you've gotten up to this point. So I'm, right now if you hear me talking, I'm talking to Gentle. Talking to people who are just watching live, or maybe people just, just enjoy watching the full stream, not particularly after the lesson. Floating. And we're good. And yeah, so you watch the video and then you immediately go and start learning those 15. Start doing the test for those 15. And hopefully it's just as easy. So this is a plank. Not, oh, like they changed it up. Okay. Leader, the leader of the pack. Alright. So I got one more to, yeah, that one, yeah, that one's going to be. So it'll either do 6 or whatnot. We'll find out. Gonna have me a nose. Okay, so we got pick. So I like picking fruit. Impart. Impart knowledge. Something impart knowledge. Pick. Ready? There we have impart. And really say a finger and bird. If you want to think of, you can combine that as well, but I don't think it's a good idea in this case. Keep these separate. So impart knowledge of how to please both customers and guests at the, or customers and employees at the whorehouse, birdhouse, whorehouse. Love. There we go. Hiroi, broaden. Or no, that's not hiroi. That's a broaden. Make wider or extend, expand. So that's impart. Impart knowledge. Love. Affection. Favorite. Ai. Actually, they usually just say suki desu to like someone or love someone. Daisuki, love. Plank. Planks of wood. I'm dealing with planks of wood. That's pick. Take, fetch, pick fruit. Pick fruit. Broaden. I love. Birdhouse, heart, Gandalf. Pick. Fingers and bird. Claw. Kind of like different from maneuver. Love. Impart. Fingers impart wisdom. And what should be good is when you learn these 555 and you go into the vocabulary, especially these next 1,000 vocabulary, is like you're going to start putting these kanji immediately to use. Because what I do is I cover over in the first set of 500, like the first half of the first 1,000, or basically all the ones that were skipped over that were at, because I divided these into frequencies. 400, then 1,600, then I think 400, 800, 800, whatever I did when I made the list. And I need to go. I want to come back and cover the previous ones. So that's good. Like I said, it's going to be fun when you start getting vocabulary with these. So this is love. This is plank. That's the ban of Keijiban? Kanban? Or Kanban? Broaden. Impart knowledge, or give. Plank, Kanban. Keijiban. Kanban and Keijiban. Impart. So what is it saying? Sazu, Sazukeru. Part. And that's pick. I think a little longer than it should, huh? Love. Love is the answer. Is the answer. Plank. Broaden. Walk in the plank. Broaden. Broaden your horizons. Or at least, at the minimum, broaden your cave. Broaden your cave. Give yourself some elbow room. Pick. Fingers pick. Fingers pick at the fruit of the tree while the bird claws pick at your fingers in the tree. Broaden. Kakudai. Kakucho. Broaden. What am I watching? Pick. Love. Oh, sorry. I suru. Impart. Broaden. Broaden. Okay, that's good. All right, we should have. Now I got to be very careful about that. You don't want to be. You want to be careful using learned words on that one. There's a reason for that. I want to be. So it should be 6. And I'm saying I'm only learning 5. So all right. That's weird. You don't normally it picks it all up. All right, we got valve, rain, and valve is mainly used for its pronunciation properties, not necessarily its meanings. Rain, rule, subdue, calm down. Also, valve, pedal, braid, peach. Twisting pedal like rain. Neptune, watery pedestal, climax, arrival, sure. Valve, rain, resign, rain. We're gonna have some other words to learn. Repartation or climax. Okay, that's walls and dirt. Maybe it's like the, was it the money pit? I wonder how that ended. I never watched the ending of the money pit, so I'm not sure if the house fell down at the end. Arrival. That's the climax in Sabers. The arrival of the, see, doth. Lady doth protest too much. Neptune. Watery throne. There's the arrival of the cavalry. Seeing a flick that I'm thinking of Effective, which is this really scary virtual reality game I play sometimes. Climax? Itaru. Itashimasu. Okay. Arrival. Where's, oh, no, it's right there. Alrighty. Doth. I like that one. Itasu. Climax. Let's see. Let's see, valve. Sweet Carrieta. This is Doth. The lady doth protest too much at the climax of the Indiana Jones film. Doth. And climax. Climate. Climax. Let's see, crumble we haven't learned. Crash we haven't learned yet. We learned cry. I think we have learned cry. Let's see, that's rain. Valve. Now I think of Valve, I think of the, you know, the company Valve, because I buy a lot of games from Steam. Rain. Arrival. Climax. Okay, yeah. That's gonna be funny if you think of a story with your porn star in there and then you talk to people about that, how you remember some kanjis. Doth. Because yes, in fact, some things like the kanji for like anus or vagina, and again, you just see it. You see body part, you see hole, and then maybe something else or whatnot. And then, again, you just see it. It's like it just obviously you're going to think some type of sexual thought in order to think of a story for that body part, for most likely. Arrival. And just for personal reasons is that I try to make sure is that the stories have a same type of mood or feeling, whether positive, negative, relating to kind of like the mood or feeling of the kanji itself. You know, I've done that a couple of times because there was a couple of stories that just gave it a really negative connotation, and it really did. It kind of made it weird learning words. Like you know, it should have been a positive word. I was like thinking of more of a negative feeling to it. But yeah, you can go back and change that over time. Wow. That was the main problem with Heisig also, is like he didn't tell you that these words or how these words are being used in Japanese, you know, in a more detailed way. Even if the purpose isn't to teach you the Japanese words, at least to say how they're being used. That could help out a lot. He did it at the beginning, but he kind of got, you can definitely tell by the book, he got really lazy near the end. Or even before the end. And I don't think it was really laziness in part. Otherwise, if he did a stories for everything, it would have been a huge fucking book. I mean, like, think about this. 555 kanji that I went through, created videos that were 30 hours long. Alright, so multiply that. So imagine 100, if I do this for the entire series of kanji. So that's 120 hours or something for, let's see, Arrival. 127 hours for the first book, and then another 60 hours, so that's 180 hours, almost 200 hours worth of video just teaching kanji. I mean, now imagine that in book form, how big that would be. It would be, I'd just say it would be insane. Let's see, how are we doing? Let's go levels again. I think we got one more to learn. And that's annoying when you do this, like, you learn one word mutually, because this is almost feels like you're just clicking it now. Because you know, mutually. That's where Anki at least shines, because you can say, okay, learn it, show it to me in a minute, show it to me in 10 minutes, then an hour, and then it's considered learn, maybe 12 hours after that. After that, it's considered in a learned mentality, and then it goes into the normal spacing of whatever the algorithm is. And then there is also a mature card, which is something like past 20 days, and it enters into a different scheduling after that. It's there's some benefits to that, because yeah, because the good thing about Anki is knowing, like, hey, what number of these words are in your mature memory? What if, like, gone at least 30 days and you still got it correct after 30 days have passed? How many of these cards have you created that have done that? And that's a very strong, that's a strong indication of how well you actually know an entire group of words. When like 90% of those words in that group that you've learned are in the mature level, past like 20-30 days of reviewing. So they're almost like they're at your beck and call, and that's why it's also strong on how you have the card set up. You know, because you know, you're going to be spending time learning and reviewing these, so you want to make sure you learn and review them in a way where it's effective when you apply it when you start applying this knowledge. In our case, it's going to be for reading, but all right, how are we doing? All right, so what did I say? Right now we're at an hour 30. Let me go take a quick break, get some coffee, and I still got a lot of water here, so I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, get some more coffee. So here's if you're just catching up or watching, what I normally do around the halfway point, I've been doing it at the hour mark, but now that I'm doing 3-hour streams, or a little over 3-hour streams, I'll try to do it as a little hour and a half mark. Show about 4 or 5 minute video that I'd either studied or am going to continue studying. Let's see, is that Kreshi?
Nani?
Yeah.
Alright, and so in this case was Japanese drama immersions at Daikurashi episode 1. That's this, and we're at the 24-minute mark.
喋らないで。家から絶対見て
I'll
ない。
be right back.
じゃあ。
リーコ行ってらっしゃい。
よし。ランチ行こう。はい。ねえ、ミカって携帯に名前つけたりする？
つけるわけないじゃん。
だよね。所詮機械だもんね。
当日のスイーツの方は我々営業部が仕切りますんで。
助かるな。営業部様々だね。それでね、ちょっと待って。
ねえリーコ、石関さんにちゃんと告白しなよ。
無理だよ。
ダメダメ。恋は駆け引きなんだから。
駆け引き。
例えば嫉妬させるとか。
私にはそんなのできないよ。
リーコ、イケメンの友達とかいないの？
いるわけないじゃん、私なんかに。
俺がなってやろうか。イケメンの友達。
室長、結構です。
当ててやろうか。お前ってさ、付き合ってもねえ男に手編みのセーターとか送っちゃうタイプだろ。
だったら何かみんな喜んでくれましたけど。
で振られるんだろ。
そんなことありますって何か私にご用ですか？
そうそうそう。お前さ、なんか違うって言ってたの、あれ本当か？
はい
新作のケーキだよ。この間俺の食っただろ。
なんか余計なこと言っちゃってすいませんでした。もうランチの時間なので失礼します。ほらミカ、ランチに行こうか。はい失礼します。
まあ所詮手編みのセーターだな。
ああいう男が一番最低。本当にムカつく。
リーコお疲れ様。
なんでその格好でここにいるの？
リーコが設定した理想でしょ。彼氏のお迎え。
そうだった。
例えば嫉妬させるとか。イケメンの友達とかいないの？
ちょっとこっち来て。これもいいかな。これならいけるかも。
あいつ派遣の依存じゃないですか。
リーコごめん待った。
全然待ってない。
お腹空いてない？
Okay,
何
let's
か
see.
食べに行こうか。
マジで？あの伊沢が？
What are we doing? Yep, okay, we're at the 28-minute mark. Back it up a little bit. Stop that. There we go. Alright, so let's see. Close that out. Well, we got 4 people are watching on the stream live. Alright, now I need to go and do some reviews. Let's see. We got that. I think what I will do for shits and giggles, alright, I'll do the kanji part first, just to get, that way I can use the board. Then I'll slowly go through these, and evenly do about 20 of each, and how I normally do that. See how that works. Alright, so let's bring the little pad out here. There we are. Here's the pen. And it looks like, looking at the number of reviews that are here, might not be able to get to that second review, that second lesson. If not, then that's fine. again, how you want to make sure you set up for reviewing. And if you've heard this before, I apologize, but yeah, do your reviews first. So don't do what I'm doing, which is learning something new first. Do the reviews, all your reviews first, everything first. Then learn something new. And always have that set aside with the time you're setting aside to learn something. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I need to learn more today. It's like, if you feel like you want to, go for it. But, don't be afraid. Don't be worried about, like, say, hey, I got to set time. I am studying at least 1 hour today. All right, and then get your reviews. If you get your reviews, you still got reviews left, you know what, fine. Your reviews are done. Save those reviews for the next day. Or if you got your reviews, you got like 10 minutes left, and use that last 10 minutes to study something new. All right. This is the benefit of being a spaced repetition system, is that they're breaking information down to a manageable chunk or manageable bites of information. Good little taste of information. Either a kanji, a vocabulary word, an example sentence, a sentence from the subtitles files, or whatever. Something manageable. And you don't have to learn these like the entire lesson. Just if it's just a part of that lesson, so be it. That's just how it can work out. Yeah. So yeah, I got excited. I started doing 3 hours as opposed to 2 hour streams, and a lot of the reviews started catching up, or I started just catching up on all the reviews. So now I can learn a little bit faster, but that's fine. It will never stay that way. So let's tell you what. Let me get rid of this one here. Okay, I'll put in my earphones. Let's see what we got here. Konogoro. Alright. We want that, but we want this right here. Konogoro. Konogoro. Okay, so we can do that. Next. And, okay, take my earphones off. Alright, so same as before, we're gonna, let me shrink this screen down here. If I want to, I can just, let me just do something real quick. Do a refresh and a refresh, and see if anything new popped up of interest. There, see, here's Mumble. There's conversation going on, but not too much about. Yeah, nothing for me, so no big deal. And voice, there's been almost no. Yeah, there was nothing on voice. Let's see, we got one little message for here. Let's see what they say. Let's see how to play say when you're lying. Uso desho? So da do? Honto desu ka? Anki deck for learning how to write. Messages, what to do, why. It always confused me when I'm a beginner saying a role of Hanashi places. Well, Hanashi is a verb, is a noun. You're saying it happened to be this is a story. So Hanashi wa usoda, that story is a lie. What? Just trying to say da is a, not treat da like a part. You could treat it like a particle, but I would say treat it more like a verb. Let's see. Anything here? What is it? Sound changes certain ame, ama, funa, funa. Oh, okay. That's Japanese. There's probably not an easy answer for that. It just happens. Okay, cool. So nothing new there. Let's see. Let's see anything pop up here. By the way, if you're into Netflix, go to this thread on Netflix context. So people are starting to generate some subtitle files from the Japanese Netflix shows. So they found a way to access the subtitles and get the IDX timing files for that. So that's kind of good to know. And that's good if you want to do and start studying Netflix dramas. Because usually what you can do is you can run your own subtitle files and while Netflix is running, and that allows you to do the Rikai-kun, where the the little highlighting you see me doing with my, I highlight a little verb or something or noun, and it will show some information about it. And so that's a good way you can watch it, and then kind of like as it's playing, read the subtitles, and then if you don't know what a word is, you can see it just immediately, see it really quick, and then keep the story going. Just quickly pause, look at the word. Oh, okay, that's what it means. All right, keep going. That would be cool if that happens. Beyond the scope of what I'm talking about, but it's fine. All right, so we're going to do remembering the kanji. Let's shrink this up. All right, so we got boundary. We'll keep it like that. Okay, and we want to do here. All right, so we got boundary. Okay, so again, that was the dirt. and that was the mirror, setting the boundaries of the lands. So let's see, Sakai. Yeah, right there, dirt. Don't confuse it with environs. That's all. Okay, that's easy enough. That's the compare all the colors. Compare the colors in white light. You realize it's made up of all the colors. So all or everyone. Okay. Compare in white. Call on. The same, I think, a Ron Burgundy story. You know, call on. You know, words go out in megaphone in all directions. News team assemble. That's also the visit. Right there. Compensation. So it's a. So if you saw it yesterday, you see these are kind of like repeats from yesterday. Okay, easy enough. Below, so that's the mouth and Lilo and Stitch. You know, Lilo or Stitch blowing a raspberry, or Lilo blowing a raspberry. Disturb. You know, depending on how you want to do the story. You know, guys disturbed when the lady told him to stop and ask for directions. When a woman asked him to stop and ask for directions. Disturb. And that means obstruct, hamper, prevent. Soft. There's the car with airbags, or lacked airbags, will not have a soft landing. Okay. Soft. You also say like maybe Lilo and Stitch were driving in a car, and then Lilo like touching and putting her head on Stitch's soft body, you know, as a pillow. Mirror. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Let's Alright, so it's similar to environments. In this case, it's metal, and then the actual, then the primitive for mirror. Stand all day in the mirror, looking at your legs. The model. That's Kagami. Figure. The second woman in a man's life, so let's do second, and then woman. It has the nice figure. Alright, so figure. Also shape or something. So we say Sugata, yeah, shape. Right there. Mix. So that's like a dilution or mixing. You can do racist commentary, so of under the sun. Also, I think of a science experiment where you mix up water and then let it put over white paper and let it let it dry up under the sun, and then you can examine the mixture of the properties of the mixture. Okay, that's good. Let's what is that guy's name? Okay, we've got 3 more of these plus an additional 3. Okay, beauty. There's the sheep and the dog. That's the B of Bijin. Beautiful lady, beautiful person. Set free. So that's the again. So the Boy Scout setting free Indiana Jones from the trap in the temple of Kanji land. Right there. Set free. Shoot, emit, rob. Okay, so this is rob by force or stealing by force. So again, maybe it's like maybe armed with a dog, or there's a dog in the turkey. And again, they're robbing, so just use glue gun as the reference for robbing. I suppose. There we go. Drought. So same as yesterday. Like I said, I remember all these from yesterday. So again, this is mist, not car. So mist. 10, sun, and 10, mist. And it's begging, so it's laying down and then hook right there. And that's beg. And the benefit is that if you're doing this, you're doing it on paper. Let's see, dyeing. So that's water-filled dye, watery dye filling baseballs. You can throw them at the trees to dye the leaves. Dye. The benefit is you'll be writing on paper, be a lot more neater. And if you do like kind of like what the guy who does abroad in Japan did, and this is what I did, is I had a notebook and I'd actually write it vertically, not horizontally. So I'd go down, so I'd turn the notebook sideways, and just essentially from left to right, I'm sorry, from right to left. So I would fill it from top to bottom on the right side, and just move left along the paper as I started doing kanji. Just kind of replicating how also Japanese traditionally was writing kanji for myself. And I filled up like 2 or 3 notebooks, and yeah, did a lot of, and I was also doing it not just for notebooks, I also did that when I started to do sentences. So I mean, I had like stacks of notebooks that were just completed with me writing. So that's why my writing probably seems a little faster than you would don't expect your writing to be as fast as mine, because again, not only did I have it with kanji that I practiced, I was also then using these kanjis, writing out vocabulary words and the sentences of those vocabulary words when I was learning those. So imagine doing that imagine 2,500 sentences. And then also during the reviews of those vocabulary words, I was writing the words out for fun, at least early on. And then, so if you're doing the math, I mean, I've written these kanjis like many times, but not on their own, not just in isolation. And what the hell am I doing? I gotta write this out. I got distracted from distracting myself. Alright, so this is abdomen, so you want to do double back right there. That's sit-ups or something. There we are. And that's hara. Violent. Yeah. Ooh. See, there's the white, there's the Boy Scout, there's the set free. Alright, there we go, violent. Get excited or enraged. Hageki. Kangeki. Reformation. Kaikakura. And this is the reformation of maybe Indiana Jones' opinion of snakes. You know. Change, reformation. Improve. What is it also doing? I forgot to read. Ambition, so that's a perished flesh. So perished right there, there's the flesh, kind of curved, and then the king. Ambition, nozomu. There we are. Pond. Okay. Okay, again, watery pond filled with maybe a bunch of deadly scorpions. Be careful. Pond. That's Ike of Ikebukuro if you live around Japan. Or live around Tokyo. There we are. Session complete. Took about 4 minutes. Okay, a couple more of these. Yeah, it looks like I won't be getting to a second. Lesson, but that's fine. Advance. That's the turkey on the roads. So I think again South Park. Sheen, and that's a show sheen as like advancement or promotion. Is that there? Outlook, so outlook not so good, or you can say Pegasus and looking around. So there's, you know, get up on your Pegasus, or sorry, get up on your Pegasus to, you know, look around. Outlook, flying out on your Pegasus, looking around. And this is again Midu as well. But this is like looking at a movie or a picture, that type of midu. Motion, so that's the protesting march, and so march, or the protest, March of Mouths. And then they usually do it from the heart, not because of anything they say is really logical. Alrighty. Kind of knows how, you know, intelligence of a group tends to decrease the more people you add to it. Becomes more emotional because, you know, again, one single person is able to control the crowd anymore. So let's see, this is single. This is a bachelor, basically. Dokushin. Okay, so that's Doku. Dokushin, or yeah, single. Right there. And also, either saying referencing to Germany. Doitsu. Yeah. Okay, so this is burning the hot dogs. Alright, let's see. Control delete. Alright, so remember on the stove. So burning on the stove, or some hot dogs, which is flesh of the dog and hot dogs. So flesh of dog on a campfire is a hot dog. I know hot dogs are not really made of dogs. I know that. Okay, moeru. Is that one right there? Yeah, so less of a hook. Okay, that's definitely more curved. Perished has the hook on it. Alright, I remember. So it shouldn't be, the way it should be is like, reason why, anyway, this is why I'm out. Okay, so I'm looking at Perish. What Perish is supposed to be is curved, but it's definitely got a little hook there, and then you finish it off. Then this right here is similar to, there, you know, no hook, you know. Now, it's not a big deal, I mean, whatnot, but let's say if for some reason you really enjoy learning kanji, and you get to Japan, you decide you want to take like a calligraphy class, a shodo class. By knowing these strokes, and then what they're going to teach you in calligraphy class is how to do these strokes using a brush, and you can learn that yourself. I mean, that's actually, you can actually turn that into a game or whatnot, or in some type of like how primitives should look, you know, based on how the strokes of those primitives, and then you're just putting that all together when you are really drawing these kanji in a very beautiful way using a brush, using paintbrush. And by knowing it with pen, then it's easier to then remember it when you start going to paintbrush. It's not something I do. I never really. I'm not really a fan of that. It's because I'm thinking. I mean, again, kanji, even though they're fun, it is a means to an end. Still, it might be a good thing to practice, because there's two types of writing. There's also, for kanji, there's what they call penji, this writing with the pen. What was that again? Rouse? Which can be good to know. But maybe also with a felt tip pen, how to write with that and then make it look pretty, which is good if you're going to be doing greeting cards. And then definitely like shodo, which is with the, you know, again, paintbrush and ink, black ink, and if you can do that, I mean, again, people will be, well, again, it's just but again, it's artistic, and I'm not really the artistic type. All right, so this is Frozen. So I got this wrong yesterday, but yeah, it's that Frozen, which is like Elsa in the East, as opposed to since the ice in the East is Elsa, the queen, the Frozen queen. Frozen. Dragon, so this is you. And this is like the scales of the fake dragon, or the ceremonial dragon. Ryuji. Stirred up. Alright, so that's the little sheep, or the turkey dog, and the kind of trying to keep all the stirred up turkeys from leaving the farm field, or we got the little field here. Okay, stirred up. Sort of like violent in that it's, oh, sorry, wrong thing. Oh, it's saying stirred up, invigorated, flourish. There. Session complete. Okay. Intentions. Alright, so that's a kokoro zashi. Kokoro. And kokoro is heart, you know, kokoro. And then zashi is like, wow. Kokoro zashi. Okay. And then zashi is kind of like pointing at something, or to indicate. Let's see, zashi. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, intentions right there. And then there's also what was it? Document. I'm surprised they didn't do document yet, or is it? We already learned that in the previous one. That's right. Words. Yeah, we already learned document. So this is afflicted. This is the kanja of a patient. So anyway, do the shish kebab that you shove into the heart of a person afflicted with vampirism. It would be a part of an iZombie. That's the warehouse. That's the cave you keep your car. They're going to also learn Go Down, which is a version of warehouse, but I mean, those two will be going together for a full word for warehouse. In fact, let's see. Is it Bunko? Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, Soko. Soko is yeah, it's a Go Down and warehouse, which is the full thing for warehouse, storehouse. But anyway, let's look at that. Yep. Detailed. Alrighty. What was that? Kuwashu? Again, for some reason, this thing is visually is a funny story. Kuwashi. And that's definitely a core 2K word, so it's one of the words you're going to learn. Atsumaru. Right there. It's kind of funny. Some people watch my videos and they wonder, like, why am I going over such basic information? And it's true. I mean, this is stuff I've already covered. And again, like I was saying, the benefit is that, again, by people who follow behind me in these lessons, these lessons should be almost perfect for the purposes of teaching basic. Mistakes are minimized. You know, there's information there for beginners to utilize. There's hopefully now we'll even have videos happening. That's a good thing. People feel like they can actually. Now the thing is, it's free, and a lot of people don't. For some reason, they have mentally they don't appreciate free stuff. It's a weird thing. Like, you can have something that's like cheaper than the competition, even better quality, but people won't buy it because it's cheaper, and they associate cheap with being not worth it. The value is less in their mind. So you raise the price, all of a sudden, oh my God, people are just gonna clamor for it. So I mean, that's why everybody thinks that, and some of it's about just knowledge. It's like Rosetta Stone. Respect my authority. I have authority. Alright, authority. And this is also the Ken. What else I want to? Gene Ken. Okay. Anyway, authority. And when you're doing reviews, especially if you got Rikai-kun or Rikai-chan, don't be afraid. Highlight these words again when you're ready to look at it. When you think you've already got the answer. Courtyard. Let's see. Again, this is a word like this is a kanji which I had completely forgotten about. I remember saying yesterday. Courtyard. And why did I do that? Okay. I got in the habit of repeating. I'm getting a bad habit of writing the kanji in stroke order fashion. Okay, presents. Yeah, this is the SpongeBob thing. Okay, the SpongeBob. Boom, 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 giving presents to that the monster, formerly a good guy. Maybe he had a bad set of fries from the plankton bucket. Let's see. Presents. Give to, award to, confer on. Okay, should have 3 more left to go. Oh, 5. Huh, okay. Oh, I remember. Okay. Harden. Okay. That's easy enough. Harden. I'll probably do a little bigger than that. And do that. Woo! Alrighty. Katai. Right there. Oh, we got Beguile. And I'll probably show you something here. So this is like the cowboy's heart. The woman beguiled the cowboy's heart. And I'll just show you now for right now. So this right here, this top part, if you're going to find it's like an older form, or actually the Chinese form for country is you do pent in, then do this, and close it. And that's the Chinese for country. Chinese kanji for country. Now, what Japan has done is that it sort of over time had to evolve to this. Now, I don't know if it was a switch or this slowly became that, and but then this right here remained in some other kanjis, whereas in others it got replaced with this. I'm not sure, but that may happen. Like I say, you may notice that, and it could be worth it to remember whether or not you want to use the older version or the newer version when remembering what goes into a kanji. Because you do get into a habit of when when you're doing like this. Let's say you're doing eat, and you got so used to doing. I mean, but you're probably not even used to doing that because you become so used to doing this because it's in almost everything. But this is an older version of it, I assume, right now. Anyway, this is something that to think about as you start picking up, especially when you get into those last 3,000 kanji. Those start giving. Because they're not as commonly used, they start having more of the older stroke orders. So, beguile, right there. Fear. What do you smell there, rabbit? Fear. Yeah, fear is constructed from mediocre. The heart's constructed from mediocre material. Fear. Mediocre. Alrighty, right there. Now it's probably going to have concept. That's the that's right here, which is interaction or enter, tree and I. Or again, if we think concept of love, put I heart you on all, carve I heart you on the trees. Concept. So idea, thought. Right there. Finally, dreadful. Not to be confused with fear. Dreadful. So that's the Tin Man. He's got a dreadful feeling. It's starting to rain. Oh no! Horrible thought. So you gotta grab some linen from the nearby farmhouse or house and dry himself off before he rusts and can't move anymore. Okay. That's, what is it? Kawaii. Kawaii. Remember, not kawaii, and then there's kawaii. Ka. Anyway, fearful. Kawaii. Cool. How about that? All done. Look at that. Alright, let's shrink this down, or open this back up. Let's see. Right about here. There we be. Alright, so what do we got? We got 114, 134. We're at a 2-hour mark. So we got an hour of this left. Let me put my pad away, writing pad away. Here's the pen for the writing pad. Bring the laptop closer to me, and I'm gonna have to put my earphones in. There we go. But yeah, I will admit it's that is fun. My brain does get excited about learning new stuff. I will give it that. So that is a good thing. That is a good problem to have. I have a few problems that aren't so good to have, but yeah, that's at least it's one. So I'm gonna, let's see, do 14 of these down to 60, then do 20, 60, 20, 60. All right, so I'll do, yeah, keep doing back and forth. We'll try it that way, just for fun. Okay, we already got that. Alright, so this is in transit. Umareru. Umareru. Umu and umareru.
Umareru.
Umareru. Dochi. And dochira, dochi. Dochi. Dochi.
Dochi.
Dore would be out of 3. Now here's the this should be looking for it. So oji. Come on, hey, oji-san. So if you look at it, you can see there's the kanji for uncle that went above coach, and there's father, and then it'll be mother. So uncle and father was uncle, and then uncle and mother would be aunt, or I guess it'd probably be better to call it aunt uncle, but whatnot. But we don't care about that right now. We want this oji-san.
Oji-san.
Oji-san. And then Oji-san is grandfather. 何か飲み物が欲しいな. What were we trying to do? 74? So it's 1, 2, 3. This will be the 4th one. 何か飲み物が欲しいな. Nah. Okay, so we'll pause
昨
that.
日、父から手紙が届いた。
You can hear the ambulance out by the road. It's like, that's like a highway running in front of the apartment that I live in, and ours is facing my apartment is facing the windows are facing the road, which I like the view anyway. There's on the other side is the view for the ocean, and yeah, I guess ocean view would be kind of nice and all, but I never really cared for it. I like the view of the city, even though it's like or the small little areas of towns, you know, on the little outskirts. So you get the small part, and then over there on the left hand side is going to be like the city of Yokosuka, which is a small city of 400,000 people. Moteiku. Moteiku. Now, I should have changed it yesterday, so this what I was saying yesterday is like you would just do it with hiragana. normally. But I'll keep it like this because that's how I originally saved it. But normally it's hiragana only. The iku or kuru. 中学校中学校中学校一番
兄は数学の先生です。
兄は数学の先生です。兄は数学の先生です。This was, yeah, 数学。
昨日おじさんに会いました。
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 届く。And this is, whoa. To be delivered. 届ける。It is 届く。Really?
届く。
届けてください。Okay. Really? Yeah, it's intransitive. Okay. So that means this, it is delivered. All right.
届く。
Second time I missed that. Not 生徒, so 学生。学生。
そのパーティーに女性は何人来ますか？
そのパーティーに女性は何人来ました？ Who cares? Come on, it's a party. Maybe it's a 合コン。
昨日、父から手紙が届いた。
昨日、父から手紙が届いた。So I could, if I need to, I can kind of remember the sentence. And then 手紙が届く。手紙が届いた。That's one way you can kind of keep the intransitive and transitive versions separate.
私は日本語を勉強しています。
私は日本語を勉強しています。
届く。
Alrighty. And let's undifficult that. Let's clear that out. Okay, cool. Alright, so we got 50 minutes left in the review. Let's keep going. We got you, 60, 40, and 20. Yeah, we'll be fine. Alright, let's do 20 of Tai Kim. Level 6, or less part 2. Tai Kim part 2. 死ぬ。学校へ行けないと友達に会わないよ。学校に行かないと友達と会えないよ。会える。
学校に行かないと友達と会えないよ。
先生だと年上でしょ。確かだ、年上でしょ。先生だときっと、surely undoubtedly きっと年上なんじゃないんですか。先生だときっと
年上なんじゃないですか。
That's where you don't have to do like perfect translation here. Just kind of look at this part right here. Past conditionals using tada ba or ba, either tada or ba. Like in this case after condition. So お金があったらいいな。お金が So you say お金があれば and then あったら. The reason why he's saying like あれば well anyway if you remember the thing it's like depending on where the importance is, whether it's on the condition or the resulting, or what would have been the resulting. Mustn't 食べなければならない。そんなことはそれを食べてはダメ。Yeah, that one says right here. But
それを食べてはダメ。
なきゃ。So なくて is like なきゃ。勉強しなきゃ。 Benkyo shinakucha. So nakute shinakucha. So nakya would be like nakereba, nakereba. Nakute nakucha. Benkyo shinakucha.
勉強しなくちゃ。
みんな行けなきゃ、みんな行けば私も行く。行けばいたらみんな。So it'd be like みんなが行くなら私も行く。なら in this case なら。
みんなが行くなら私も行く。
So 行ったら、行けなければ or 行けばいたら in this case 行くなら in this that was ならもし時間がなったら明日でもいい。もし時間がないならもし時間がないなら明日でもいいよ。
もし時間がないなら明日でもいいよ。
Kamao should be this right here. Kamao. I don't think we've learned that kanji yet, though. So a few of these, So a few of these vocabulary words, especially for Tai Kim, might contain kanji that haven't been studied. And hopefully, though, your knowledge of kanji, due to knowing primitives, you can kind of cheat and just figure out what that kanji is on your own, and just kind of mentally remember it just for that purpose of in that time, instead of doing it in the bulk. You don't have. There are some other tricks. I mean, there's not one way of learning kanji. In fact, I told someone this morning a rather interesting way called the movie method when it comes to kanji. Now, kanji, usually for onyomi, which is more of the structured, onyomi is a lot more structured. There's systems. For onyomi attachments or pronunciation are kind of systematic. You kind of tell that there's a pattern to, how the kanji is drawn, and then what its onyomi will be. So again, systematic. And there are a few that have two common onyomis, but normally a kanji will have one. Maybe about 10% have two. I have to look at the numbers again, but for the most part. So what I mentioned was like, okay, think of movie method, which is what you want to do is take a movie and attach an onyomi, a common onyomi to that movie. Like, let's say Lord of the Rings, I attached Ko, like Kobo Baggins. Star Wars, I attached she is your sister. And Titanic, I attached Jo, which is the joke is it's not unsinkable. Things like that, joke. And then if there's a kanji with that onyomi from the word, then I would go and try to put that kanji in that somewhere in the scene in that movie. And I'd actually wrote down a piece of paper and I kind of like lined it off and I put like little words that kind of describe like a specific scene or location in the movie that happened, and then I could put kanji there based on maybe what primitives that it contained, because I allowed it to even more systematically break it down further, whatever the primitives happen to be. And it worked. I mean, the problem was I was learning it out of context. I didn't know any vocabulary words that use its onyomi, so the ones that involved a vocabulary word I knew, oh yeah, that was like awesome. I mean, it had no problem. Like all of a sudden I was cementing the onyomi in my head. It's only that I know it from the 2 or 3 words that use this onyomi. Now I can see directly the kanji that use the onyomi. But for kanji that didn't have the onyomi or didn't have a vocabulary word I had studied, those were difficult to recall and whatnot. So I think what I did later on, and this is what I recommended to another guy, is like, hey, you know what? If you're going through my course for vocabulary, and if you do it, since it's sorted by kanji, you're going to introduce the kanji slowly. So when it introduces a kanji and it happens to be an onyomi, think about the movie method. So, if you're going to memorize kanji anyway, why not memorize it, but make sure you memorize it within the context of a certain scene of a movie, and then that movie then helps you give you your onyomi for that kanji. Just an idea. It's also a variant of what's called Kanji Palace or Kanji Town, which is again you basically create an area around the town, like a skating rink. It can be referring to Ri, maybe jogging park could be Jo, whatever. I mean, the town square could be Ko, whatever is it, because Coca-Cola is sold there. However you want to do it, it doesn't matter. That's called Kanji Town or Kanji Palace. same concept. Just I think movie methods worked a little better for me because they're so visual and you can actually get a sense of not only people are in it, odd places are in it, and whatnot. So something to consider. All two of you that are probably going to be hearing me say this as a recommendation. Okay, anyway, if you're a student, okay. 学生だったら、学生割引買わないよ。学生だったら学生割引で買えますよ。買えます。
学生だったら学生割引で買えます。
Yeah. So that took a little longer than it should have. It should have been like 2 or 3 minutes. It wasn't. It was just that I'm talking too much. Made. Mada, not yet. Made until. 学校に行けなきゃ or 行けないと。学校に行けないと but we want an abbreviation, so it's this one. So yeah, this is 学校に行けないと. This is what we want. 学校に行けないと.
学校に行かないと。
学校に行けないと. Okay. 大丈夫よ。全部飲んでも大丈夫よ。全部飲んでも. This system right here. The reason is there'll probably be others that use a similar thing. Fuck, I clicked on the wrong thing. I even said it.
全部飲んでも大丈夫だよ。
Okay, I hate when that happens. Then what?
電話。
I don't mind legitimate mistakes. I hate like idiotic mistakes that I make. No good. The dame. Burdensome I.
ダメ。
Evening. Bun. Or yodu. Okay, there we go. Yodu.
夜。
夜。暇だったら遊びに行く。暇だったら遊びに行く。
暇だったら遊びに行くよ。
What the fuck? Looks like Madame Tussauds or something. There was a wax statue of Donald Trump. It's Freaky Lee. Really? It looks like him. It's really good. Really good wax statue. On TV, sorry. 全部飲んでも大丈夫よ。全部飲んでも大丈夫よ。
全部飲んでも大丈夫だよ。
Huh. 寝る。Haven't learned that kanji yet either.遅いまで電話しなければならないよ。Okay. 早く。夜遅くまで電話してはならない。電話してはならない。Must not do.
夜遅くまで電話してはならない。
Ouch. Late. 遅い。遅い. Could also mean slow, but yeah, 遅い。
遅い。
遅れる。To be late. 全部飲んでも大丈夫よ。全部飲んでも大丈夫よ。全部飲んでも大丈夫よ。
全部飲んでも大丈夫だよ。
How are we doing? Yeah, we got your 20. Let's go back to here. Then I can do one more thing to look at. I'm going to do those 20. So let's do these first. 大学生。大学生。大学生。
大学生。
大学生。
彼女は3人の子を育てました。
彼女は3人の子を育てました。3人の子。彼女は3人の子を育てました。育つ。
そっちが私の部屋です。
そっちは私の部屋です。そっち。私の部屋です。そっちが私の部屋です。
彼は採用試験に合格した。
彼は採用試験に合格した。採用試験。彼は採用試験に合格した。 and it's an employment examination. 高校生
高校生息子は中学生です。
息子は中学生です。息子は中学生。There we are. 中学生です。I like that. You had to kind of look for it. You can't just.
質問のある方はどうぞ。
質問のある方はどうぞ。質問のある方はどうぞ。そっち。
そっち。
そっち。女性。女性。
女性。
女性。
郵便局はあっちです。
郵便局はあっちです。あっち。あそこ。向かう。郵便局はあっちです。郵便局はどこですか？郵便局はあっちです。Yeah, I like that. It'd be kind of fun if someone bothered to go through and somehow, in some way, put all these sentences together in a, like it almost like a nice little script of someone just walking through town talking or whatnot. It'd be insane to do, but it'd be funny if it happened.
いとこと私は同じ年です。
いとこと私は同じ年です。いとこと私は同じ年です。
新しい家にはもう慣れましたか？
新しい家にはもう慣れました？慣れる。新しい家にはもう慣れました？慣れる。慣れる。
このカバンは重いです。
このカバンは重いです。
彼に手紙を書きました。
彼に手紙を書きました。書く。彼に手紙を書きました。
息子の中学校は家から5分です。
息子の中学校は
息子の中学校は家から5分です。
息子の中学校は家から5分です。息子の中学校は家から5分です。中学校。
後ろから押すと危ないですよ。
後ろから押すと危ないよ。危ないですよ。後ろから押すと危ないですよ。後ろから。Drop something from behind you. 後ろから。Probably pushing from behind. Oh, probably pushing something heavier from behind, like pushing a car from behind. 後ろから押すと pushing from behind. Yeah, so push like a vehicle off to the side. That way it doesn't roll on top of you, especially if you're going up a hill. Meeting. Meeting. You can tell that's a Texas speech.
大学に行ってもっと勉強したいです。
大学に行ってもっと勉強したいです。入学。大学。大学に行ってもっと勉強したいです。
明日のプレゼンテーションが心配だ。
明日のプレゼンテーションが心配だ。心配。明日のプレゼンテーションが心配だ。
彼は真面目な学生です。
彼は真面目な学生です。真面目な。学生。彼は真面目な。Let's see, we learned truth. There's mask and eye. So we'll probably be learning this in the next set of 1,000 words. Majime. Okay, how are we doing? That was 3 minutes. Really? Huh. Nonde. Okay. Okay, I think we can. Oh yeah, we gotta do one more. How are we doing on time? 2 minutes, 2 hours, 25 minutes. Nani mo tabe nakute mo, nani ka tabe nakute mo, oishii desu. Something like that. Nandemo, no, tabete mo. Nani o tabete mo, oishii desu.
何を食べても美味しいです。
ウェルズ。
ウェルズ。
大野さんは90歳けれども丈夫だ。とても元気だ。ウェルズ、大野さんは90歳だけれどもとても元気だ。大野
さんは90歳だけれどもとても元気だ。
けれども、この本は高いけれども高いだけれども、この本は高いけれどもこの本は高いけれどもいい本です。
この本は高いけれどもいい本ですよ。
いい本ですよ。数えは、美人だ。美人でも不細でもない。数えは美人でも不美人でもない。見にくい。不美人でもない。でも美人でも不美人でもない。
数えは美人でも不美人でもない。
不美人。タイヤ。It's not Moshi, right? It should be それともそしてそれならthat's right それなら okay 割引お金があったって買わない。車が買わない。買えたくない。don't want to buy. wouldn't want to buy. Okay, 買えたくない。お金があったって車は買いたくない。
お金があったって車は買いたくない。
And kind of mention if you haven't understood already, like the big thing about this dictionary, basic Japanese grammar, even though it says it seems like a misnomer. I mean, because this is a bit more complicated quite a bit more complicated than Taikim. It still is basic grammar, but from this, reading text and understanding what the text is trying to convey, the meanings that it's trying to convey, makes things a lot easier, especially when you're moving into the Japanese drama immersion courses. So that's why I include these. And then also that's the book I'm going to lean on, that's the intermediate book when I lean on into the intermediate sections. And then I'm going to leave the advanced for, again, advanced areas if I ever get to that far. It's taken me since May of last year to try to get this far, and I haven't even completed yet. But to be fair, I'm also doing, again, Japanese drama immersion, trying to get these things up and running, and I kind of slacked off for 2 months out of that. So, it's kind of fun. And I had technically was going to college and had a part-time job. You know, if I want to give excuses. それなら。
それなら
それなら。それなら。
それなら
それなら。Okay, let's see if we got anything. Yeah, all good. And we got 10 more to go. And then we'll go back to vocabulary and切符は高かったって買える。切符を高かったくたって。Okay, so 僕はその切符を高くたって高い高くたって高くたって買う。僕はその切符を高くたって買う。
僕はその切符を高く立って買います。
だっておの好きじゃなくたら、leave it alone. Let's see. 嫌いだったら好きだじゃなくたら嫌いだったら残してください。
嫌いだったら残してください。
嫌いだったら残してください。Or this should be yeah, this is 学
学ぶ
Well, it should be 学 study of ドイツ語あんまり好きじゃなくたらあんまり好きじゃない。勉強しなければならないけれども勉強しなければならない。そうドイツ語僕はドイツ語があんまり好きじゃないけれども勉強しなければならない。
僕はドイツ語があまり好きじゃないけれども勉強しなければならない。
入学試験改革した。先生に聞いたらすぐにわかります。すぐにわかった。先生に聞いたらすぐわかった。
先生に聞いたらすぐわかった。
この本間違いそれとも僕は間違い。それともこの本が間違っているかそれとも僕が間違っているかどちらです。OK。どちらかどちらか。OK。この本が間違っているかそれとも私が間違っているかどちらだ。
この本が間違っているかそれとも私が間違っているかどちらだ。
でもけれども僕は妹にと弟にと妹にも弟にも本買ってやる something like that. So yeah, 特にも妹にも本を買ってやりました。特にも妹にも本を買ってやりました。
弟にも妹にも本を買ってやりました。
Okay, that's good. Now we can close this out. Okay, well, like I said, we'll probably be done by this time. So I only got one lesson done today, and that's fine. And again, reviews will catch up and even out. In addition to, when I get to learn stuff. So I'll at least learn one lesson a day. I know that's going to work out that way. because I want to keep doing that, keep pushing for getting these videos filmed or recorded and archived. Let's see, let's do 1 right now, and then I'll do 10 or 20.
姉は大学生です。
姉は大学生です。姉は大学生です。
テーブルの上にごちそうが並んでいる。
テーブルの上にごちそうが並んでいる。That's like a staple of food. Food is presented on the table or laid out on the table.
テーブルの上に
Oh, there it
ご
is.
ちそうが並んでいる。
テーブルの上にごちそうが並んでいる。ごちそう。
彼の家に荷物を送りました。
彼の家に荷物を送りました。送る。送る。いや、送る。彼の家に荷物を送りました。
問題が一つあります。
問題が一つあります。問題。
父はお土産にお菓子を買ってきた。
父はお土産にお菓子を買ってきた。お土産にお土産にお菓子を買ってきた。
日本へようこそ。
日本へようこそ。ようこそ。Welcome, nice to meet you. ようこそ。ようこそ。
ウェイトレスを呼んだ。
ウェイトレスを呼んだ。ウェイトレス。ウェイター。ウェイトレス。
グラスの数が足りません。
グラスの数が足りません。数。Not enough glasses. グラスの数が足りません。
あなたが本当に好きです。
あなたが本当に好きです。あなたが本当に好きです。Yeah, you can say that to a lady you want to try to seduce or make feel better. 持つ。
持つ。
持つ。近く。そう、近くに。近くに。近く？ Huh.
近く。
So it's a noun and an adjective. There's chikaku. So it's either a noun or an adverb. Okay. I don't like that. I really don't like that near. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll live with it. Chikaku. Don't like. I kind of don't like it though. Okay. Chikaku. Chikaku.
近く。
近く。Hello. There we go. Next. And that. Got one person left watching the stream, or at least YouTube is showing one person watching the stream. Might be more than that. You never know. It's been very quiet in the live chat, so.
父は
If watching
胸
this
の
in
手
the future
術を
again,
した。
you can leave a comment.
父は胸の手術をした。
父は胸の手術をした。手術をした。胸の手術をした。Surgery.
このプログラムはとても複雑です。
このプログラムはとても複雑です。複雑。雑誌。複雑。このプログラムはとても複雑です。生徒。
数字は苦手です。
数字は苦手です。数字苦手。
ボールが彼の頭に当たった。
ボールが彼に頭が当たった。ボールが彼の頭に当たった。
このドアは引いてください。
このドアは引いてください。 ドア引いてください。
必ずシートベルトをつけてください。
必ずシートベルトを締めてください。必ずシートベルトをつけて、つけてください。つけてください。Done。
まあ今回は許してあげよう。
まあ、今回は許してあげよう。今回は許してあげよう。あげよう。
その子は体が少し弱い。
その子は体が少し弱い。weak. You are the weak.
娘さんはいくつになりましたか？
娘さんはいくつになりました？いくつ？娘さんはいくつになりましたか？Okay, I think we can go to got there. So we'll do these 20 and then finish 20. We'll be done with the reviews. ここに入ってはダメ。ここに入ってはいけません。No, we're doing abbreviation. ここに入っては入っちゃダメだよ。ここに入っちゃダメだよ。しなければなれない。毎日学校へ行けなければなれない。毎日学校に行かなくては行かなければ。毎日学校に行けなければいけません。
毎日学校に行かなければいけません。
信者はダメ。信者ダメだよ。信者ダメ。もう帰ったらいいですか？もう帰っていい？ It's more of an abbreviation. You're right there. もう帰っていい？
もう帰っていい？
Okay. 宿題をしなければならない。宿題をしなければダメだった。That doesn't sound right.
宿題をしなければダメだった。
You start getting used to how they start using that commonly. しなくてはダメ。Something like that. 宿題をしなくてはダメ。宿題をしなくてはいけなかった。宿題をしなくてはいけなかった。had to do. 毎日学校に行かないとダメです。
毎日学校に行かないとダメです。
全部飲まなくては全部食べなくていいよ。全部食べなくていいよ。全部食べなくてもいいよ。全部食べなくてもいいよ。何をしたいですか？何をしたいですか？ちょっと見せていい？これちょっと見ていい？ Something like that. これちょっと見ていい？宿題をしないといけない。宿題をしないといけない。宿題をしないといけない。この方 have to do いけない have to do。明日何を食べる？ カレーを食べようか。明日何を食べま、食べましょうか、食べようか。So this is not saying polite, casual. So 食べましょう、食べようか。カレーを食べよう。食べよう。
明日は何を食べようか。
明日は
カレーを食べよう。
カレーを食べよう。食べなければ、なきゃ。食べなきゃ。ご飯を食べなきゃ。
ご飯を食べなきゃ。
行かないとは、行かなくてはいけません。ダメです。毎日学校に行かなくて、毎日学校に行かなくてはなりません。
毎日学校に行かなくてはなりません。
温泉に行きたい。温泉に行きたい。
温泉に行きたい。
温泉に行きたい。今日何をしましょうか。テーマパークに行きましょうか。今日何をしましょうか。テーマパークに行きましょう。
今日は何をしましょうか。テーマパークに行きましょう。
全部食べてはいいよ。全部食べてもいいよ。
全部食べてもいいよ。
ここには生えてはダメですよ。ここに生えてはいけません。いける。
ここに入ってはいけません。
温泉。温泉。
温泉。
温泉。早くね。では。ならない。早く寝てはなりませんでした。
早く寝てはなりませんでした。
Okay. It's got 10 more minutes. Yeah, let's What am I doing on time? Let's see. Oh yeah, Akim's doing good there. Although I think he's doing more than just obviously the Japanese courses. He does a lot. So, in fact, he just helped me out yesterday in that he added up all the audio for Core 2K 6K Part 3, which is SGJL 10, and then he's going to be doing 12 today or later on today. So that's good. It's like I said, part of the thing with this is like again finding time or setting aside time to actually do some of this stuff that needs to be done.
私が払いましょう。
私が払いましょう。払いましょう。
彼女はメッセージを残しました。
彼女はメッセージを残しました。残す。彼女はメッセージを残しました。
妹は高校に通っています。
妹は高校に通っています。高校に通っています。
値段はちょうど3万円です。
値段はちょうど3万円です。値段はちょうど3万円です。ちょうど。
息子は中学に通っています。
息子は中学に通っています。Ooh, shit. Okay. Thought I'd already finished that off. I didn't. Okay.
息子は中学に通っています。
息子は中学に通っています。息子は中学に通っています。 ける。受け取る。受け取る。
受け取る。
受け取る。ティッシュ。ティッシュ。ティッシュ。
ティッシュ。
ティッシュ。ティッシュ。
私たちのチームはその試合で負けた。
私たちのチームはその試合が負けた。その試合で負けた。私たちのチームはその試合で負けた。負ける。
その話は本当ですか？
その話は本当ですか？本当その話は本当ですか？
ウェーターが水を運んできました。
ウェーターが水を運んできました。ウェーターが水を運んできました。Alright, 10 more to go and we'll be done for the day. Alright, we're at 2 hours 51 minutes, so yeah, it's gonna come out to just the right time.
私にはたくさんのお金が必要だ。
私にはたくさんのお金が必要だ。私にはたくさんのお金が必要だ。
彼は数学を教えています。
彼は数学を教えています。教える。彼は数学を教えています。
今日の試合はいい経験になりました。
今日の試合はいい経験になりました。今日の試合はいい経験になりました。経験。I feel like 初めて。
この本は難しいですね。
この本は難しいですね。
今日はヤンキースが勝った。
今日はヤンキースが勝った。ヤンキースが勝った。勝つ。今日はヤンキースが勝った。
予約はいりません。
予約はいりません。いる。予約はいりません。予約。高校。And it's like行動学校 is the so this is an abbreviation of 行動学校。
高校。
この料理はとても簡単です。
この料理はとても簡単です。この料理はとても簡単です。
料理がたくさん残りました。
料理がたくさん残りました。残る。料理がたくさん残りました。メッセージを残した。Okay, that was... Yep, that's it. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's finish that. Let's go to groups. Let's do a quick little end of day summary or whatnot. Maybe look over a couple of... Alright, so right now I got members of my study group, of the study group for this is up to 758, so that's pretty good. Let's see how people are doing for this week. Let's see, because it's Thursday right now. So we got Aculum's up to 200 for this week, up to 268. David's 216, Soren, and then myself's lagging behind. But again, no, yeah, because I've been doing regular studying now. So finished on Monday, Tuesday, something like that, a couple days ago. So let's say I did 3, 1, so 3, 2, 1. So I did, 3 days. I've been doing it for 3 days, doing new lessons for the last 3 days or so. So it's going to be it's going to take me a bit to where I start catching up and getting some more points and whatnot. Let's see, how are we doing all time? He's already surpassed me in all time anyway, but let's see. Hello? Oh, there we are. Yeah. That's not right, is it? something's wrong there. That can't be right because I'm only at like 8 million points anyway. So yeah, that's something screwed up in the scoring. I don't know what happened there. How the hell did that happen? Okay, so yeah, but again, that's kind of fun thing. Let's see what stats are like right now. Go here. Let's see, I did today 421 learning events. 2 hours 45, just a little bit less. A couple hours, that's no big deal. And right now, so I'm doing pretty good for the hours. And then right here is remembering the kanji part 2. So right now it's up to 17 hours. I'm expecting that to be around 35-40 hours when all is said and done, including the reviewing and doing the recordings and whatnot. And it should work out fine. So I'll balance out. So it'll be very similar to this. At 30 hours, this will be like 35 hours or something. And it won't even, and that's only because of the stories. Because I got to spend like 6 hours adding stories to all these. And then I might edit the stories, which add even more time. See, there's that Taikereshi. That's going to start dwindling away because, again, it's getting to a point where 2 months ago is when I started with that one. And it's all good. I mean, I think what I should have done was kind of record like what was it. But how fast I do it is a little off than how fast the average person is going to do it. Because I had already studied this material. So it doesn't take into account the fact that, you know, my accuracy is a lot higher than the average person who is just studying this from the beginning. So that means that lower accuracy means you're going to study it a lot more to get materials into long-term memory. But that's fine. That'll happen with time. Let's see, in the 90 hours in the last 60 days, that's good. That's going to start getting higher and higher, considering how I'm doing reviews. Okay, so that should be fine. Let's see, let's go to here real quick, see if anything popped up for fun. So we got Twitter, thread about New Hope, Japanese content, nothing of real interest. There's a little bit about Terrace House. And okay, let's look at newest submissions. It's for fun. Anki Dekka, for learning how to write. A question about the uses of tame. Let's see, what is this question? I'd like to know a really good deck which show the words hiragana in the English translation first. From there I can write. Actually, better if you just have the English translation, then you write kanji. Because I did that studying. Actually, it was going from hiragana to, and that's how the first deck I did, because we were trying to get rid of English altogether. So I was trying to go hiragana, and I would have that, and then I had the pictures there. I got rid of the pictures because that was giving the answer away. So just from just the sentence that was closed deleted sentence, and then the word in hiragana, what was the word, and I'd write that out. But the problem was I wasn't embedding in my head the pronunciations. So I like the way Memrise is doing it, where I type out the answer. So yeah, the word is in English. That sucks. I guess you can kind of closely, maybe with the closed deleted sentence and a picture, and then kind of ignore the English prompt if you can. You know, if you have access to the picture. But that only works for the Core 2K. The Core 6K doesn't have photos that I would depend upon. And some of the pictures that they do have for Core 6K that someone just kind of like sent through a automated process through Google search, those are not very good pictures at all. But yeah, if you can do that, I would recommend. But yeah, definitely you don't want to have if you're learning to write kanji, don't have hiragana as a pronunciation. Otherwise, you're not going to learn the pronunciation of those words or the attaching sounds to those kanji as good as you should be learning. Let's see, next up, what do we got here? Anything pop up? Nope, nothing there. Alright. Let's see, anything on Discord? Let's see, nothing there. Let's see, do we have any conversations? How long can you hold foreign visas? I think that's depends on the day. It could be 90 days if you're visiting. Just depends. It's up to the bureau you're staying with. I got permanent resident status, so it's 5 years until I have to renew it again. Okay, cool. There's nothing new here. So what I'll do is, okay. All right. So right now, watching in the stream are 2 people. Although there's been almost no conversation in the in the live chat. So whatnot. Hopefully this was fun. Give me some feedback. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like it. And subscribe if you haven't already. Consider sharing it on social media where appropriate. I'm not saying spam everything. Just if you know places where people are interested in learning Japanese, maybe share, if nothing else, the link to the what I call or this link here, go to the link where Kohi Forums, Group Study, then right here where it says Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy. Just give them the link to that, and this kind of walks them through what to do. You know, just start from here. I mean, it's almost self-explanatory by that point. And, you know, answer questions. And let's see, what else we got? Yeah. I think that's about it. I see how well that thread was doing the last three hours. So, yeah. So it's about 718. Just getting there. We got two new ones. Let me just see what they got to say. I know, this is a little arrogance on my part, ego. This is a little ego surfing. I am bad about that. Show old child cabinets. Alright, so let's see. What is Dakimakuros? I want one for Christmas. I don't even know what he means by that. Dakimakura. What is it? Dakimakura. Dakimakura. I don't even know what that is. Actually pretty good for giving back problems. Oh, okay. I guess it's something to sit on. Off-topic conversation. Okay, everything else is good. There we go. So anyway, this is Nuke Marine. This has been today's study session, which is one lesson, lesson 50, and then quite a few reviews. And I will be back tomorrow. And sometime between, usually it's been, right now it's been sometime between 10 o'clock in the morning my time till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is, I guess if you're doing Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT is between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. Or if you're on the west coast of California, or if you're on California or whatnot, the from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night is when I start. So it depends. But yeah, like I say, there's no guarantee or something. I used to have it consistently at 8 o'clock, and that just went away after about a month or so, or 1 or 2 months or so. But I didn't want to make it to where I didn't do a stream because I didn't start at 8 a.m. So I just say, okay, well, look, when I get the mood on that day, I'll start the stream up and start doing the education thing. I'm not under any type of timeline or anything. Alrighty. Alright, so thank you very much, and I will be back tomorrow.